Good afternoon, everybody. World's biggest sports radio station. It's talkSPORT. Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you until 4 this afternoon. And the big news is that we will be replaying the Men's World Cup final. And if you'd like to take part, 03717 223344. It is FIFA sanctioned, and they get everything right. So 03717 223344. Let's begin with the sports headlines from Tom Clayton.
Talk Sport.
Alex, thank you. Good afternoon. Bruno Guimaraes finally looks set to become an Arsenal player. After lots of talk this summer, we understand the fee's been agreed and he'll sign a 4-year contract. But talkSPORT senior transfer correspondent Ben Jacobs says there may be more to this.
There's some dispute over whether it's 75 period, and Newcastle sources and Arsenal sources are adamant that it's 75 no add-ons. And yet those close to the player and other Brazilian sources that I've spoken to argue that there are some add-ons.
Meanwhile, we understand new Newcastle head coach Matthias Jaisler's set to be confirmed later today. Now, is Turkish football beneath Mo Salah? He's arrived in Istanbul ahead of his move to Trabzonspor. Glenn Hoddle reckons he could have done better. But with a rumoured wage of £17 million a year, we asked Hoddle if the title of Turkey's best paid player was too much of a draw.
Possibly, I don't know. I think in some ways there are people out there that I think would actually would pay that for him. And I automatically thought it was lined up for him to go to Saudi.
In the last few hours, talkSPORT has learned Yan Diamande's move to Real Madrid is happening. A €120 million fee has been verbally agreed, and it's now pending board approval. Also today, Hull City have confirmed the signing of Greek goalkeeper Konstantinos Tsalakis from Olympiacos. For all the latest transfer news, head to talksport.com. Elsewhere, Gianni Infantino will hold an emergency meeting with senior staff in Morocco this afternoon. The FIFA president is hoping to align some of his closest allies, despite criticism from within the FIFA leadership, as he battles to fight on. talkSPORT understands there are still those within FIFA that prefer that Infantino would hand in his resignation. And remember, Alan Brazil's back on breakfast this Friday. You can see all the highlights from his glorious return this morning on the talkSPORT YouTube channel.
talkSPORT News.
Child sex offenders who committed crimes before 2003 could be eligible for the government's early release programme, and the CPS says Lucy Letby won't face further criminal charges. Amelia has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit, where we've got a wider range of premium tyres than Britain has rainy days. Visit your local centre or book at quickfit.com today.
Rain across the north, possibly thundery at times, elsewhere dry with sunny spells.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT. Hawksby and Jacobs for the Sabutio corner kicker generation. What's coming up between now and 4, Charlie?
Hello, Max. Great audio from your shed in Australia today. No delay. It's unbelievable. Thank you.
Know.
Oh, that's you. You say thank you.
I say thank you.
And then today, we'll ask former Kiwi international Trent Bolt about the 100, about Stephen Fleming, and about being at a wedding with Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, as soon as possible Rocky, I like to call him.
Yeah, of course, yeah. He's the quickest Rocky you can get, isn't he?
If you want to watch Rocky, he's the guy.
Absolutely.
He'll get it on.
Well, he's got it on Blu-ray.
At all
just
times,
set up
ready.
at all times, yeah.
We will talk.
Funny that niche could make you so much money, isn't it?
It really
What's your thing? You want to watch Rocky 3? I can get it on like that.
Fast as you can. Yeah. Bang. Anyway, we'll also talk to Michael Beale about being a manager during the transfer window. And the lads from Groove Armada will tell us about 25 years of their classic Superstar.
We'll do some Newcastle United with them selling all their players, and we'll discuss the first ever professional paddle tournament in the UK.
That is Max's opinion, not the opinion of talkSPORT, that he's a grubby charlatan scumbag. After the success of our Moses Itauma interview in October 2025, it was good. Listen back. Today we interview Moses Itauma. Heads on, chaps, we can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it. We've got this, Max. We are good at boxing now.
Not sure we're good at it.
Ben Jacobs will do some transfers. They've just had Adam Cattrall on, who is like the boxing guy.
I think Moses said, I want those two. Those two talked to me when I was on delay in Nigeria.
Those guys know what they're on about. Rhian Brewster's on, and we'll cross to Turkey to find out if they are happy about Mo Salah.
Now, all that between now and 4. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Afternoon, Max. I've had an antihistamine.
Yeah.
Slightly dopey.
Right.
1089. What drugs are you on?
Okay, yeah, we can do that. I mean, can we do that?
Are you allowed to do that or not?
I don't know.
Does an antihistamine count as a drug?
Well, I don't think. I mean, you just hope it's not one of those shows where afterwards you're called in for the doping. I couldn't celebrate with the lads after this show for hours because they were testing my B sample for antihistamine. Why is that?
It was a long queue in the old building.
Yeah. Was it a legal high? What are you doing antihistamine for?
Antihistamine? No, he's Finnish. What are we doing? Antihistamine footballers?
No.
Low-level drug footballers.
Over the counter.
Over-the-counter drug footballers.
Over-the-counter, non-prescription needed drug footballers.
Antihistamine.
Yeah.
That's where we'll kick off. 8 10 89.
Faustino aspirin. Yeah, there
beautiful.
we go.
You're off. We've done it.
There we go. Okay.
Didn't even plan it.
We don't need to plan this show. Have you seen?
It's very odd having you next to me.
Yeah. Is that a problem? Where do you want me?
We normally do the show when you're on a little screen in front of me.
Yeah. Okay.
You're next to me. It's nice. It's nice. You're actually real.
I'm real and I'm here. Yeah. They let me in. I'm an immigrant.
Let you in the building.
I'm an immigrant.
Yeah,
some hosts on this station wouldn't want me here. But we won't get into that. They're not on at the moment.
Here he is.
Much calmer walk through the studio to say hello to Carlton Cole and Adam Cattrall. No frostiness there, I should say.
Chris from Wrexham says Paul Hawksby is going to be tearing his hair out. What drugs are you on?
He wouldn't let
25 years they've built this show.
Gian Infantino's holding an emergency meeting with senior staff in Morocco this afternoon. The FIFA president hoping to align some of his closest allies, despite criticism within the FIFA leadership as his battle to stick on, to fight on. I have the allies that he's meeting.
Oh, okay, that's nice, yeah.
Darth Maul, Hannibal Lecter, Wicked Witch of the West, and the Shark from Jaws. They're all behind him. They say actually he's done a really great job. He's uniting the world, isn't he?
He's doing a great
job. Well done, Gianni.
Lee Paracatamol. That's very nice.
Cal Paul Podborski.
Thank you very much. Put your name on it, honestly.
Anasol
Campbell.
We can't do it. It's allowed, isn't it? Over the counter. Jordan Ibuprofen. Really good. They're good, these listeners, aren't they?
They're very good. They are quick as well.
Who trained these listeners?
Wow.
Who trained them? Paul and Andy, I think. Anyway.
Troy Codini. Very, very nice. I mean, it's just this now for the rest of the afternoon.
Well, let's do
lots of things
on this. So, look, the big news, we are interviewing Moses Itauma, and we have to be honest with you guys. Charlie thinks our boxing interviews are up to something these days.
They're getting better, Max.
They're getting better.
Can we just say we take them seriously? Yep. We're not trying to be bad.
Yeah, and actually, that's a message for the whole show.
We are really giving it a good go.
You might think that we are trying to be. We're actually trying to do our very best here to deliver the best broadcasting we possibly can. But I think sometimes boxing, look, you can't choose which sports you love. That is true. You love some sports, you don't love others. But obviously, we have a professional obligation. We're doing cricket. Trent Bolt is on next. We've done a bit of research about Trent Bolt. We'll come on. We'll talk about the 100. We'll talk about Stephen Fleming. We'll talk about this amazing wedding he was at and life, etc. And the song that the MI London sing in the 100 and all that. So we do take these things seriously, of course. But boxing is not my first love. Funny if it was.
If it was.
It is. I love you, Jamie, but not as much as just punching that guy in the face. But it's not as a sport like Adam's. Yeah. A different Adam, obviously, who was on before us. But we have to do these boxing interviews. They come up. Moses Itauma is available.
We're on there and we're the guys.
We happen to be there, but the pressure is on. So until that interview is done, I can't relax. So they make these microphones in the studio very low. I sort of feel like I have to crouch like a little goblin.
So everyone looks like they've got a hunch.
Exactly. Is that bizarre? Who's the short presenter that is saying no one can look taller than me in talkSPORT.
Everyone must look like Sandy Tosvik.
Is it Brazil? Alan's back, as he said, everyone must look short. Goldstein.
Microphone shorter. Could probably work if you sit up tall as well.
Can you still hear me if I sit up at my normal height? Or does the audio change significantly down there to up there? Is that how it works? Anyway, look, if you are a boxing expert, we need you to furnish us with some Mouses at Home questions. We won't give you the credit.
I've got two already. I'm quite happy with them.
I've got one.
Okay, so how many questions do we need for an interview? Does anybody know?
I don't remember him delivering Peter Ustinov style responses. So I'm going to say we need 10.
Yeah,
we need 10 and we got 3.
I think 8 and 2 in your back pocket. In case
I don't think I've got 2 in my back pocket.
Okay.
Pill Foden, says Steve. I mean, it's Route 1, but we'll take it.
Ibuprofen Martins. Ibuprofen.
Kind of works, doesn't it? So, some questions. We've also got some really exciting news that we are replaying the World Cup final.
Yeah, there's been a petition. There's been a petition by the people of Argentina.
Yeah, they've taken it well.
Has had over something like over 100,000.
Is that good for a petition these days? I feel if you're not getting 1 million, we shouldn't take any notice of it.
Well, look, we've been asked to replay the World Cup final.
We have, by FIFA. Maybe Gianni is trying to create a little, a diversion. That's what's, are we being used by Gianni now?
I think that's what it is.
To create a diversion. But we are replaying what time are we doing that? What time are we replaying the cup final? 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock kickoff. Good, like it should be.
03717223344. It's on the calls. On the voice notes as well.
No, it's not voice notes. It has to be live. If you want to take part in the replayed World Cup final,
we need 5 callers.
By FIFA,
we need 5 callers.
Yeah. 03717 223344. We came up with a good name for it. What's the score? It's called What's the Score? It's a brand new feature. Some of our features last a long time. Some don't last very long.
We're going to try it out.
What's the score? 03717 223344. If you would like, Gary Tablet. Oh, stop it. That's really tremendous.
Very good.
03717 223344. If you'd like to take part in the replayed World Cup final. If you have any good boxing questions for Moses Atama, please get in touch. 81089. We won't credit you.
We are only going to get over-the-counter drugs footballers now, though.
Give the people what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This is terrible. Get Rushden off talkSPORT. I'm switching over to Racing Live on talkSPORT 2. Keep it within the network, and we're all happy.
Nice. Go and listen to talkSPORT 2.
Thanks so much. Ask Moses if he pities the fool he's fighting next, says Shawnee. Come on.
Serious questions. This is like their job.
Yeah.
This is like their life's passion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you ask Moses Atama a silly question about his life's passion, he's going to go, why am I speaking to these guys?
Well, that's true.
We want the big boxing names.
Yeah. Holyfield.
We've spoken to a few.
Yeah.
Really,
some of the
famous
best
ones.
Yeah. Ask Moses if he's ever volleyed a ladybird.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Who was that? What was that one?
Who had volleyed a lady? Dave Allen just volleyed a ladybird.
Someone plucked out of a sky. Absolutely. Van Basten, a ladybird. Can't remember that one. Anyway, it's Max and Charlie with you until 4. Bought you presumably with some excellent sponsors. I don't have them in front of me. Do you have that? Can you read that?
Is it with Betfair?
There it is. No, Tool Station.
Tool Station.
It's it.
You're listening to Hawksby and Jacobs on talkSPORT in partnership with Tool Station.
Yeah.
First stop, Tool Station.
There we are. We'll talk to Trent Bolt in just a second.
No Vin, no fee. That's on the back page of The Sun, with also Arsenal target Vinny Jr. back in training with Madrid. You feel as though, if the Madrid deal happens, he will end up staying. But around Bruno, they've had a deal rejected for £75 million. So do you think Gabby actually, depending on how these plan out, Arsenal might have a quiet window?
Yeah, but they don't need a busy window. Just won the Premier League, and they're going to strengthen. They've lost Trossard. They brought in Zolis, who's a very good winger. If they bring in Bruno Guimaraes, I think that's enough to go again and win the Premier League anyway, even without him. But it's going to make them stronger. And I think he's a fantastic player. I don't think he should be the same fee as Tonali because of the age difference. I mean, 3 years older than Tonali. So you look at him, no sell on value for Arsenal if they sign him. So I think 75, 80 is about right.
30 million less. Okay.
Just because of the age I'm looking at.
Okay. But they're not going to have... But how important is it that Arsenal do get in a midfield, especially at the start of the season, because they won't have Declan Rice?
Yeah, and they've sold Norgard to Everton, so you're looking at that midfield and you're saying it's a bit light now. I think it's a fantastic player. We're just talking, me and Jeff, off air. You know, that probably says Zubamendi, maybe you're a squad player next season.
Yeah, and I think the thing is with Bruno Guimaraes that he's reportedly said that he wants to join Arsenal. So the deal will happen. So from a Newcastle perspective, get it done.
Yeah.
Don't let this become Alexander Isak Mark II.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. First up, Toolstation. Dominic's suppository, says Sean. That's
very nice.
It's really strong stuff. Over the counter football drugs.
Brownie's been in touch.
Hi, Brownie.
He is washing windows up a ladder.
Okay, good stuff.
Doesn't say where, but he says Patrick Viagra.
Okay.
We'll
take it.
Quite here for it.
Are you? Okay.
Is that over the counter? Do you have to have that?
I've never got it over the counter.
Can you just go in and buy that? You look like you're experienced.
The last time I bought Viagra.
Can you just go in and buy it over the counter?
You probably can.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Anyway, if anyone's got any and you want to give it to Charlie, why not? Trent Bolt's listening to this going, is this the right station?
This is it.
Should I be on this? Are they going to ask me if they've got any Viagra anymore? We'll try not to. Let's talk. Lots to talk about. The 100, Stephen Fleming getting the England coaching job as well. Let's talk to Kiwi cricketer. Plays for MI London in the 100, Trent Bolt. Hey, Trent.
Hey,
how
Trent.
are you?
Gents, how are you? Nice to see you.
Yeah,
nice to see you
lovely
too.
to see you too. How's the you're third in the table in the 100? How's it all going?
Yeah, good result on Sunday.
Not too bad. It's happening quickly, but I think the boys are travelling well. The first half of it was pretty quick for us, so we've had a couple of days off, and obviously got a big game at Lord's tomorrow. So everything to play for.
How many seasons of the 100 have you played, Trent? Now,
this is only my second,
right?
If you can believe that. But yeah, I was up in Birmingham last year, and now moved down to the Oval. So it's been a great tournament to be a part of so far.
And have you worked out like how many runs or you need have you worked out the tactics like compare 2 years in? Can you go out exactly if you're going at the right rate compared to 2020?
Nailed it. Yeah.
Oh,
know
great.
everything there is to know. No. I've always heard that the scoreboard is quite hard to read, and you can kind of get a feel for that. But yeah, I don't know. The 5 balls, 10 balls from each end, and then move down the other end is something to you've had to get used to quickly. But same kind of concept. Ball seems to be flying everywhere. Bowler's job to try keep it in the ground. So yeah, we'll just try our best at that.
Yeah, and kids love it, don't they? And that's the main thing. It's got young people into the stadiums and into the stands, and they seem to absolutely love the game. And anything gets kids watching cricket is good, right, Trent?
100%. Yeah, I was once a young kid that fell in love with swing bowling and watching my idols go out there and play their game. So that's what it's all about: getting kids involved, getting people in the seats and supporting the game. So I think it's been a pretty good following this year.
Who are your idols? Too young for Hadley, or is no one in New Zealand too young for Hadley?
No one's too young for him. No, yeah, he's in the top 7 idols. But as a left armour, who would I idolise? Wazzy Akram, Chaminda Vaas, Dale Steyn was a big one for me.
Yeah.
Mark Eilert, Alan Mullally, these guns.
And have you met them, Trent? Did you meet your idols? Had a chat with them?
Definitely, yeah. I've been very fortunate with all that this game has given me over the years to, not only meet some of my idols, but play alongside some of them. I opened bowling with Dale Steyn in 2015 for Sunrisers Hyderabad, which, as a 15-year-old Trent Bolt, I would never have thought I would have had the chance to do that. So It's just the way of the world with franchise cricket these days, isn't it?
And what did you bowl? Just like keep it on the deck. Just like
don't mess it
like taking a 7-iron off the first tee. Just like
I told him, well, I'm going to bowl the first over, and you coming from the other end is what I probably told him.
Yeah.
Hey, now we're talking to you because of something to do with KP Snacks supporting England's Cricket Cities programme. I don't know how much you know about this, Trent, but this is your chance to give us every bit of information that you have.
Well, what do you guys know? That's you guys, as the host, should be plugging it too.
I see. He's turned the pressure on. He knows what he's doing.
Well, I just always think families from all backgrounds should get active through cricket, and I always think that should be through KP Snacks in many, many ways. Trent,
that was beautifully read. Yeah. I totally agree. Anything that promotes a healthier lifestyle, getting kids active, getting people outside is nothing but positive in my opinion. So, they've launched a scheme to try to promote people coming out and getting interested in cricket. And as I said, as a kid who fell in love with cricket at a young age, I would definitely encourage lots of kids to follow the path that I've tried to follow over the years with such a good game.
I've read the other day, and I think this is the same thing, that young people aren't going to nightclubs, right, and dancing because they're scared of people filming them and putting them online dancing.
Okay.
Haha, look at this funny person dancing. Yeah. But I don't know if it's the same with sport. If less young people are playing sport because people film all the time. We saw that with the clicky ponting the other day, with the cheating, because people are starting to film all their village cricket matches. I just sort of think, stop filming everything and just do it and just play it. I don't think we need to film everything.
Yeah, it's a good theory, but unfortunately with the world of artificial intelligence and cameras in every pocket, basically, it's hard not to kind of record anything. So I think it's just the way of the modern world, and can be positive. You've got memories for life with all the good things that happen, but unfortunately some bad stuff's out there as well. So yeah, it's just one of those things.
I'd love to talk to you about Stephen Fleming getting the England job. Ben Stokes has spoken about it. He was on the For the Love of Cricket podcast about that decision. Let's have a listen to what Ben said, and we'll come to you, Trent.
I love Rooty. I wish him nothing but success. I hope he goes on and achieves amazing things in his role as captain. And I think he's gonna really enjoy it with Flem. He's a great man. I've worked with Flem before, but I told Joe, I said my only worry is you, and that's all I really care about now with Rooty is just because I seen what he went through and how much he put himself through. He's just always put the team first. Like, he always comes second, and that's just my only concern with it, is just obviously knowing what he went through last time he was in charge of the team, because I don't want to see that ever happen again. Flem's going to be again going to have to take a lot of that on his shoulders initially.
Trent, I don't know how well you know Stephen Fleming. New Zealand's not big. Everyone knows everyone in New Zealand, I imagine. But what do you make of the appointment?
Yeah, didn't think I'd ever be sitting here talking about a English head coach appointment. But New Zealand's a small place. Flem is a highly regarded coach, ex-player. In our country, I've never actually had the chance to play underneath him. He never put a paddle up for me. So if he ever watches this, I'm sure he'll feel that. But yeah, a pretty experienced guy. He's very well planned, very charismatic is what I'd say. He really holds the room really well and speaks very professionally. So I think someone that can do that is a big string in his bow, and probably why he's been such a successful coach over the last however many years, decade plus easily. So yeah, I'm sure he'd be a big challenge that he's looking forward to. And yeah, Brendan is a good friend of him. Obviously, they've been good friends for a long time, had a lot to do with each other, but they definitely bring different strengths, in my opinion. So it'll be an interesting one to watch over the years.
It's quite interesting, isn't it, that he's, all his success in coaching pretty much has been in franchise cricket. And do you think that's almost a better way to getting a top international job?
I just think they're two completely different things. Head coaches for an international team deal with a lot of different things. Equally, what a franchise world involves, in a way, a franchise world is about buying the right players for the right year and the right kind of conditions you're in for a selective kind of 6 weeks of a year, as opposed to an international role where you're playing around the world, different conditions, 5-day cricket. There's so many different things that can come up. But like I said, he's very experienced, very well planned, and I'm sure he's got some good visions. So where to take that English Test team from here.
And just a quick word on Joe Root coming back as Test captain. Do you think the break may have done him good or give him sort of a different attitude to it?
Good question. Not sure. Don't quote me on anything. Don't know Joe that well. Just bowled to him a few times. Yeah, it's done a bit of a full circle. Whether that's him driving it, saying, yeah, I want more of it and I want another crack, then that's brilliant. But yeah, the amount of cricket that is on these days, England play a lot of Test cricket, as well as a bit of franchise cricket and white ball cricket that he plays. Yeah, it's a tough role, but obviously he wouldn't have taken it if he didn't think he could do it. And yeah, I'm sure he's a good man for the job.
Well, listen, thanks for coming on, Trent. Appreciate your time. Good luck with the rest of the 100, mate.
Appreciate it, gents. Take care.
Thank you, Trent Bolt there. That'd be interesting to see. Should have asked, is he massive boozer and is he like getting all the lads
absolutely on it
from minute one? That's the first thing you should do, is a group bonding stag do, isn't it? To somewhere really public and say, this is where we're going. I mean, with those hats that have pint glasses on either side. And then they just all the lads go like that.
They say cricket's got a drink problem, but if you get a fiver, you buy a jug. You get 100, you buy 2 jugs. It's like, oh yeah, maybe we should stop rewarding with alcohol. I don't know. But it's good fun, isn't it?
It is Max and Charlie with you on the warm up. No, that's not the warm up, is it?
What's not the warm up, Max.
It's just Rushden and Baker.
Rushden and Baker on Wednesday afternoon.
Woke Wednesdays. Max and Charlie here until 4. Michael Beale, former Rangers and QPR and Villa manager, will join us in. Was he a Villa manager? He was under Steven Gerrard there. He's the brains, the brains of Steven Gerrard. That's what we'll ask him. I want to talk to him about what it's like being a manager in the transfer window as well. Because we're all there just refreshing gossip pages, and they actually have to go, who have we got and who's coming in and how much, will I get the people I want? And we'll talk to Michael Beale about that in just a second. Do you think he'll regret the way he went about last year?
Well, he should, in my opinion. I'm his biggest fan, right? Someone who scores 40 goals a season from right wing, not centre forward. People know him inside out. He can beat you both sides, so you can't stop him. To do that 8 years on the bounce, then he starts the season off, and he had 3 goes. In my opinion, he threw his toys out the pram and said, the club have thrown me under the bus. That was the first one. We're all going like, what do you mean by that? Club has thrown you under the bus.
Just had an unbelievable bumper contract.
He's got a 2-year contract, 500 grand a week. And then, again, he got left out again, and he had another go. And then just as he was on his way out the door, and he hadn't got the manager of the sack, he had another go saying we should be playing Jurgen. Basically, we should be playing Jurgen Klopp football and go back to it because we've gone right off the boil. And all the directors must have read it and gone, right, we've obviously got the wrong manager. So I don't think he should have done any of that, but he done it, and now he's gone. So I think probably on reflection he would have thought, I've tarnished my. He's like a superstar at Liverpool. He's up there with Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush as a legend. But that leaving like that, I don't think he should have done that, because it was petulance. It was like as if, you can't leave me out, I'm Mo Salah. Well, he did.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the tax man at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something, because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
You were being quite silly, some of you, Ben, saying, does Moses think a pescatarian would eat a mermaid? And
half the mermaid. Would you eat half the mermaid?
Would Moses rather eat a Declan Rice-sized grain of rice or a grain of rice-sized Declan Rice? Anyway,
we're not asking Moses to tell me any
sensible
of these
stuff.
things.
We're going to do some sensible grown-up stuff. Anyway, let's talk to Michael Beale,
Yes,
of course,
please.
former QPR Rangers, Sunderland, manager, worked up with Stephen Gerrard, now managing over in Belgium. How are you, Michael? Thank you.
Hello,
for your
Michael.
time.
Good to see you, lads. No, thanks for having us on.
You're really welcome.
Well here.
Good stuff. So, Zulta Varagem, I've just, forgive me, was not fully across the history of this football club until recently, where it is, sort of not far from Ghent. How are you finding it out there?
No, it's been fantastic. I've been here 2 months already, so we're in the week of the season now. So that excitement and buzz is in the air. It's a beautiful town, really clean, really lovely town, and the stadium right in the middle of it. The training ground just opposite. I live in the town myself, so I ride a bike to work, which is a new experience for me also.
That's nice. That's sort of Ted Lasso vibes, isn't it? Sort of, you're just walking through town, saying hi to the fans as you're getting in.
Unfortunately, my brain goes, what bike have you got?
Okay.
Because I'm 9. What bike have you got, Michael?
It's one I stole from the club, actually. So we have some bikes for recovery. Obviously, it's much different cycling here to back home. It's safe for starters because there's that culture. But no, it's lovely. It's the fact that you can either walk or ride into work, the fact that everyone in the town is really behind the team as well and excited for the season. Those things are unique compared to obviously the other clubs I've worked in.
Michael, I was looking at your history and you started coaching you started as a player, obviously, but you got into coaching in your early 20s and you've since coached all around the world. Are you pleased you got into it that early? Do you think you could have given it a bit more of a go as a player, or was it injury that stopped you?
No, it was a bit of heartbreak when I didn't make it as a footballer, and I started coaching futsal in a church hall in Bromley, South London, where I'm from, and it took off really quickly into Chelsea and Liverpool, off to Sao Paulo, and in the different clubs at first team level. But it was always a dream for me to be a head coach in Europe. My 2 idols were Sir Bobby Robson and Terry Venables, who were 2 obviously English coaches that had gone and worked at Barcelona and other clubs. There's not enough British coaches who get the opportunity or take that option. And that was when I was 21. I'm 45 now. So I'm living my dream. That was the big decision really in the period out. What was I waiting for? What opportunity was it? And I have it now in Belgium. So I have to always keep that in the front of my mind. I think that I'm living what I really set out for myself many years ago.
It's an interesting, the way fans view managers can be quite, I don't know if you think this, Michael, quite binary, which is, you're good until it doesn't work at a club. And that's kind of like, okay, done. This person isn't good anymore. Like, how do you find that, like a kind of idea that you have such a CV and then it doesn't necessarily fly at a certain club. How difficult is that to deal with as a manager, and how much sort of rebuilding do you feel you have to do?
I think you have to stay confident with your work on the training pitch. You have to also know that it's not just you as well, that it's a management team, and there's a lot of decisions made in the football club that are outside the manager's control. So you really have to be aligned with that club. But as I say, it's a game of real opinions. That's why we love football, isn't it? It's a game of passion and drama, and a bounce of ball one way or another can really help you in certain moments. And I've benefited from that as a coach, and I've also had some disappointment as well. It all makes you stronger. And as I say, like, we are very privileged to work in this game full time. So I don't see it as work. I'm doing my passion. There's a lot more media scrutiny on managers nowadays, but I think we have to take that as well and just focus on our work. And again, the media focus on the game brings more finance, more better facilities, better players and everything. So the benefits outweigh the negatives for sure.
Have you had a good window?
Oh, yeah.
We've had an interesting window. So this club has done really well in the past 2 or 3 years of similar to a Brentford or Brighton model. It has data profiling, brings players in and develops them on. So probably for a very small outlay of maybe €1 million has recouped 28 million in the last 2 windows on those players. We are a club that, can be cherry picked like most clubs in Belgium. We have found that this summer with 2 or 3 good ones leaving, but we've also then gone and recruited a couple of really interesting ones as well. And that's where we are in the football food chain, even here in Belgium. We're a club that needs to really invest in developing our players. And I think that's why I'm a good fit for Zulte Waregem.
Yeah. And it's interesting as well. You sort of think there are parts of managing this side that must be more difficult than managing like a top side in the Premier League, because you've got to learn a whole new league. You know, you've got to learn about all these players, the players that you are looking to recruit from, you know, in the league below you in Belgium, like all that kind of. I sort of think it's like when you talk to commentators who are like, well, the World Cup final, you can do it with your eyes closed because you know all those guys. When you're doing, you know, the EFL trophy on a Tuesday, like, well, you know, that takes loads more research. So if you had to do like a bucket load of work to understand the league and the club that you're at.
Yeah, of course. That's the exciting part, Max. That's what I love. You know, I'm a football obsessive, so learning, studying the league. I played games here in Europe with Rangers, so I know the standard of the league. The last few months I was travelling and meeting people, so I know of the level and I know how much of a talent hotbed Belgium is. You just got to look at some of the players that have moved to the Premier League or the Bundesliga for big money this summer. But you're right, you know, the market that we're in at our club, we're identifying players via data, and then you have to make the data back that up with your eyes and your reports and your references. But that's a really exciting time as well. That's the challenge for me as a young British manager coming here to sort of push my reputation, earn respect here in Belgium. It's not going to be given to me. I certainly have to earn it.
How much of the Michael Beale coaching futsal in a church hall in his early 20s is still in your coaching regime? Is it still a similar technique that you do? Is it still, do you still preach that philosophy?
I really, really push the you versus yourself journey. I think it's really important for all of us in whatever we do. So I've been working this way for a number of years now. I work with unit coaches. Obviously, you have the goalie coach looks after 3 or 4 goalies, but I split my staff between defenders, midfield and forwards. More for off the pitch work in terms of talking to the players. What is their identity as a player? Where are they going in their career? How can we link the training? So my days as a youth coach have not come away from me. My assistant here, Mike Garrity, I worked with at Liverpool under 23s. He had 13 years there. I had 10 years at Chelsea, 6 years Liverpool. We're really bringing that here. It's a young squad, average age of maybe 23. So that work's really important. None of these players are at the end of their rainbow, if you like. They're at the top of the mountain they're trying to climb. So we very much invest in individual development. It's much nicer in terms of the schedule than maybe the Football League or what I'm used to at Rangers, because here you have 34 league games and you only play at the weekend. So there's a really good training week in that. So we're really trying to push these boys individually to reach their maximum, both for our club, but obviously for transfer into a bigger league should they progress.
And I presume, Michael, to finish off, your day goes waffles for breakfast, cycle home with Eddie Merckx, chips and mayonnaise for dinner with Hercule Poirot. That's a normal day for you, I presume?
Well, last week it was a visit to Bruges and a chocolate factory, so you're not far off.
Oh, that's good stuff. Carry on.
It's such a laid-back lifestyle and a beautiful country. The clubs are close together, so I feel really blessed to have this opportunity. I would love to see more British coaches have an opportunity to do it and obviously go and take it. I think that would be great to see also.
Well, we'll keep an eye on how you get on. It'd be great to get you back on during the season and find out how you're getting on.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the time.
No, pleasure. Michael Beale there, the manager now of Zulte Waregem, who I will be now my Belgian side.
They're my Belgian side as well. I love them.
Yeah, okay.
I'm Zulte Waregem till I die.
I was Genk for a while during the Soccer M glory years.
You're an absolute Genk. I think it's a good thing to call people.
The Genk bus, but now I'll change my allegiance, if that's allowed, to Zulte Waregem.
73% win rate at Rangers, which...
It's not bad, is it?
I wonder. He was only there just under a year.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would,
they'd take that.
Would they take that now?
But he's happy. He's happy as also.
What a nice guy.
To work,
what a nice guy.
The lads from Groove Armada, Andy, good touch for a big man, and Tom, excellent engine in midfield, good left foot.
Okay.
It's 25 years since their classic Super Styling, which Cambridge United run out to. The perfect interview this is for me, like 90s music.
You didn't even set this up.
I didn't set it up, no. But we'll chat to Tom and Andy about that in just a second.
I speak to people here and there, good sources.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing I can say is that I know for a fact we're not going to rush. The window doesn't close until the beginning of September, end of August, beginning of September. We've got a lot of time to make decisions. And on top of that, we're not like other teams who desperately have to strengthen and anyone's better than their current team. If somebody comes into our team, they have to be the right personnel, the right players on the pitch, and they have to fit the vision of Arsenal Football Club. We haven't spent 7-8 years building this squad for anyone to come in and for it to be some kind of joke. So the likes of Bruno, great attitude. He can play, Mikel likes him versatile. He can play as a 6, he can play as an 8. He can play as a 10 if you really want him to as well.
His creativity is very underrated, Joel.
Exactly. And we all know what it gets like. When you're Arsenal Football Club, you're in every single competition, guys. Just to remind everybody, we only, didn't play 2 games out of the possible. All of the games that you could have played last season, we only didn't play 2 games. What games were they? Do you know?
It would be the League Cup final. Oh no, you played that.
You're wrong. That. You're wrong. Don't worry, Ollie. I'll correct.
Go on. Go on.
Semi-final of the FA Cup.
And
the final of the FA Cup.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So that means that even if you've got 2 10s, Eze and Odegaard and how great they are, sometimes you need more players.
synchronize it. Live from outer ghetto, we maximize it. Sound of the Groove Armada, we super.
25 years since Groove Armada's super styling. And the lads join us now. Andy Cater, Tom Finley. Gents, how are you?
Hello, gents.
Yeah, good thanks, mate. Good to see you, mate.
Yes, nice to see you. Tom has a excellent engine.
Oh, really?
Good left foot.
Where have you played football with him?
Well, I don't know, Tom, what are the rules about that Friday game? I always got the sense you're not allowed to talk about it ever.
Don't mention it.
Don't mention the Friday game. Yeah. Andy, good touch for a big man. But yeah, Tom's got sharp elbows. That's it.
Really, right?
Yeah.
Jagged.
Tried to get him on play for Polly Vets a couple of times. He always said yes. But then never
show up.
Never quite got him down to Chiswick.
Typical pop star.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, look, 25 years since Superstar. I know it doesn't make me feel old. I feel old anyway, gents. But you're here to tell us that, old people like us are still raving, basically.
Yeah, I mean, old people like us are still raving. I mean, we're very lucky in that, 30 years actually into our DJing and performing career. We're talking to you a bit bleary-eyed after 5 gigs in 5 days.
Fantastic.
And we're playing to a whole new audience of 20-somethings, and it feels electric as it ever did, you know. But we're also doing a lot of festivals, and you get this kind of brilliant multi-generational mix from, you know, 7 to 70. And yeah, amongst that are the people from our generation, the kind of the people for whom rave and house music defined their whole lives, and we want to get behind this idea of those people not pulling back from that or pulling back from other social interactions because of worries about hearing, getting rid of the stigma around that, having a chat about that, because these moments of connection are needed more than ever.
Yeah, and actually that's interesting, Tom, isn't it? That, you know, as you get older and you sort of don't realize, I have young kids, I had kids late, but even still, whatever happens, I sometimes see like young groups of people in their 20s with so much free time, and you know, and you have less time, right, to do fun stuff, and you sometimes think, oh man, I haven't danced for months, you know, and that's like
last dance.
Yeah, you've got to kind of keep doing that.
You do, yeah. I mean, obviously that's not quite the same for us because I think I've been doing
solidly
a week, but generally, no, that's true, and I think it's really nice. I think the generation we're talking about, our generation, people in their 50s, they grew up in, is the rave generation. It's that time where that was a central part of our lives, our cultures, where we probably met our best mates, maybe our partners. So I think it's something that people still want to do, and we're really seeing that at the festival they're at. So yeah, making it, maybe we can't do it Friday, Saturday, Sunday every week anymore, but certainly making the space for that, coming out, having these moments of togetherness are a really vital part of the way we live now, you know?
Yeah, I was reading the other day that kids don't really listen to their parents' music as much anymore, because that's how people used to be able to discover different artists, is by hearing what their parents were playing and then either going, I'm going to listen to the opposite of that, or that sounds good. But because everyone's got headphones in, even if they're in the car, they don't necessarily hear what their parents are listening to. But then I've done 3 or 4 festivals this year, and you see fields full of multi-generation people all singing and dancing to the same music. So I don't know what the answer is to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been one good thing, or there's been lots of good things about streaming, but one of the really good things has been keeping that music alive. And in our DJ sets, you know, we play plenty of our own music. We often end the set with a Fleetwood Mac track. Everyone seems to know them too. So yeah, I think it's it's an interesting time where the crowds are sort of, I don't know, things like Superstar for us feel almost as current now as they did 25 years ago, and people seem to be right on it. We play about 3 or 4 different versions of that track in our sets, and everyone seems to enjoy every version. So
that's good. That's like a one-hit wonder having to do. I'm not saying you're a one-hit wonder.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying if you go and see some one-hit wonders, sometimes they'll play 3 or 4 different versions of, let's say, 2 Princes by the Spin Doctors.
You can't knock that. They do that with Little Miss Can't Be Wrong every other song, and then you're absolutely fine. It's one of the like one of the greatest achievements of you guys. It's not that you're still doing it, but you're still doing it together, because that relationship is. I mean, I don't know. I know you from kind of five-a-side, but we don't spend a lot of time chatting about, you know, your musical differences or not. If you've always been totally in love, or you just have this symbiotic relationship, but to still be mates when you work in such an intense place and at like intense times of the day and touring and all that kind of stuff is such an achievement.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, I'd say more of a blessing than an achievement. You know, it's I think it's just been amazing to sort of share the absurdity and madness in which we've lived a lot of the last 30 years with someone like Tom, and like, you know, we both appreciate the funny side of it all. We both are totally committed to working damn hard to make sure that the people who turn up to see us play, whether that was live or DJing today, have the best possible time they possibly can. And we've also both share a keen curiosity for the after party, you know. So it's a good combination, and I think it's given us the courage to make the moves that we've made, which is why we're still doing it today. And it's given us the courage to get through the dark days, because there are dark days amongst all the chaos, obviously.
Sure. And I mean, it's always a cliche question for artists that have been around for a while, Tom, is, you know, are you still doing the after party, or is it just a green tea and bed? Because like one of the many reasons that I'm, you know, not a great music star is, you know, I'd just be so tired. I just wouldn't want to go to after all that. I just want to go to bed.
That's the only reason. Yeah, and the choice of the clarinet.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we're mixing up more than we did, but yeah, we're indulging in the. I would say it's on and off.
Right.
Probably of the 5 gigs we did last week, I think 2 involve some after situations, which is better. Whereas I think 10 years ago it would have been everyone, and
Would
we'd
have been
probably,
100% strike.
and probably no sleep between all of them.
Wow.
So things are definitely improving on the health front.
And still, Cambridge United are running out to superstyling as well.
The best thing ever, right?
Let's
This is
face
just-
it.
I was hoping you were going to mention that.
Of course, right? And people will say, who's the most famous Cambridge fan? I was going, it's one half of Groove Armada. It's annoying, really. I thought I'd have something.
I don't know. Is it you? Is it me? I don't know. Mark Saggers, isn't he?
Sags. So has he slipped away, hasn't he? Now, so got to be above Saggers now. Tom.
Saggers, of course.
Haven't we?
Saggers famously did the vocals on Superstar.
He did, yeah. But you're sort of
Got
Arsenal.
rid of them, but he did do the first person.
But you're sort of Arsenal and Cambridge, Tom. I don't know where you're. My heart is Cambridge, and my, Tottenham are with me as well. And are you more Arsenal, more Cambridge? Where are you?
It's really difficult, I would say. I mean, in terms of who I see the most, I see a lot more of the Arsenal, just because where I live, I'm in Stoke East, I'm very near the ground. I don't know. It's probably the same thing. Head Arsenal, heart will always be with Cambridge. I guess if they played, I'd probably want Arsenal to win.
Oh,
in extra
wow.
time or
Superstar had just been
penalties.
dropped.
Yeah, replay.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I don't know if were you at the 91 FA Cup quarter final at Highbury?
The 2-1.
Yeah.
We talk about the 2-1 here. I was, and it was absurd and amazing.
And I've never forgiven
that.
David O'Leary pulled back John Taylor at 1-1. And he comes on the show quite a lot, and I always tell him off about it. He doesn't sound that interested in talking, not as interested as I am in talking about it. Who's your side, Andy? I should know this.
Yeah, sort of Arsenal by default through him.
Right.
Being a northern lad, it was more rugby rather than football, as you've witnessed on the five-a-side bit.
He's piling through people, with his shoulder. It's very upsetting. So Guimaraes to Arsenal, Tom, finally. Are you happy with that?
I'm enormously happy with that. I always hated him as an opposition player, but I will love him when he's one of ours. Yeah, a wonderful football player. If we get him and Vinny, then I will be a very happy bunny.
That's a big shout. It's never happening, Vinny, is it? Oh, quickly, this is all because of the Specsavers thing. You did mention it, Andy, but just remind us what this thing is.
Yeah, so basically we're getting involved in this to take the stigma out of it. For some reason, no one thinks anything of glasses, but we have a different relationship, or have had a different relationship to hearing aids and anything associated with that. So we've got to get rid of all that stigma, keep people enjoying music, keep people enjoying conversations, keep people connected. So that's why we're teaming up with Specsavers. And the long and short of it is, if you go on their website, you'll see there's a 3-minute hearing screener. It's dead easy. We did it the other day. And if you do that, then you go into your name goes into a virtual hat, and names will come out of the virtual hat for a gig that we're going to do at a wicked little club in South London. It's called Phonox. Place we wanted to play for a while. We're doing that in October, and then there'll be other bands doing other gigs on the same basis going forward. So hopefully this can just get people talking about this stuff, and we can move it from stigma to something which just allows people to crack on.
You have to get it checked, because you actually sound older and look older if you're constantly going, what?
Yeah.
Pardon? What? You just sound worse. So, just get your hearing checked.
Tom, Dion's been in touch, Dion Dublin. What a match that was, he says. So there you go.
Did he really?
Yes, he really did.
Dion loves the show. Yeah.
It is. Good stuff. And thanks, gents. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully I'll see you on the pitch one of these Fridays.
Look forward to it.
Good
See you
stuff.
soon.
Tom and Annie there from Groove Armada. Play out with some Groove Armada, please, someone, and we'll be back in a sec.
Climb into position with synchronized it. Live from outer ghetto, we maximize it.
One minute I'm doing this, I finish at 10:15. There's a car outside. I'm like, what's going on? Straight down to Addenbrooke's, Cambridge. Okay. And a few hours later, wallop, they open me up and stick a new liver in there. So I did have a cancer on my liver.
Did you?
And we suspected that for months, to be honest. But they didn't want to go in and touch it and shake it up in case you could make it spread, But anyway, they decided that, first of all, they said the perfect match came in, or else I might still be waiting.
Yes.
And people who know what I'm talking about, who are on the list, you can wait 18 months. You can go down there, get ready have the op, and they say it's not quite right, go away, come back, we'll phone you later, maybe in a few weeks, and it can be murder, it can be terrible. But I was so lucky. I went down there and they said, we've got one and it looks perfect, so we're going to do it now. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So they eject you all over, and you think you have to sign a few forms.
Of course, yeah, of course.
And you get carried in there, and it's like, goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. Just it's a massive
Wife's
operation.
in tears, and it was horrible.
But you knew though, didn't you, Al? Before that, you knew. You know, when you were on air here and you felt dizzy and you had to come off, you knew something was.
Well, that was the stage where I had to get it done, or it was see you later.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise it was that extreme, but it was. They told me, said another couple of weeks you were gone.
Dan writes, probably one of the best days of my life listening to Super Starling on the main stage at Glastonbury on a sunny day. Amazing. Two really good lads. Go and see him if you can. And Scott, typical lefty, not wanting to go to an after party. God forbid, enjoy themselves. Thank you, Scott. It is Max and Charlie with you until 4. Lewis Figo's gone in 2-footed on Gianni. It's absolutely great to hear. Let's get more on that and the other sports headlines from Tom Clayton.
Talk Sport.
Max, thank you. Good afternoon. We'll start with this. One of the longest-running transfer sagas of the summer appears to be drawing to a close. Bruno Guimaraes is, as we understand it, headed to Arsenal. Here's talkSPORT's senior transfer correspondent Ben Jacobs with the details.
Deal is agreed. Guimaraes has permission to undergo his medical, which is either going to begin today or tomorrow, according to my information. And then Matthias Jassler can get on with this exciting new role and spend some of that money.
We also understand Jijsler's move will be confirmed today. Another big mover this time, leaving the Premier League, is Mo Salah. He's landed in Istanbul ahead of joining Trabzonspor on a free. But the football legend Glenn Hoddle thinks it's a bit beneath him.
I don't mean this disparagingly to Turkish football, but he's better than that.
Mm-hmm.
He's better than that. He should be playing in a top league, maybe Spain even.
In the last few hours, talkSPORT has learned Yan Diamande's move to Real Madrid is happening. It's a €120 million fee pending the club's board approval. Also today, Hull have confirmed the signing of Greek goalkeeper Konstantinos Salakis from Olympiacos. For all the transfer latest, head to talksport.com. Now, Gianni Infantino will hold an emergency meeting with senior staff in Morocco this afternoon. The FIFA president is hoping to align some of his closest allies despite criticism from within FIFA and their leadership as he battles the fight on. talkSPORT understands there are still those within FIFA that prefer Infantino hands in his resignation. Meanwhile, in the last few hours, Portugal legend Luis Figo has called for Infantino to go. He said Infantino's behaviour is the lowest, most deceitful and cravenly self-interested I've ever seen. And after the return of the King this morning, remember Alan Brazil's back on talkSPORT Breakfast on Friday morning. See all the highlights from his comeback show on the talkSPORT YouTube channel.
talkSPORT News.
The Prime Minister is facing legal threats over the potential early release of 2 men who killed a police officer. A new guidance on single-sex spaces comes into force. Amelia has more at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Sort your new tyres this summer at a time that suits you best from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
Rain across the north, possibly thundery at times. Elsewhere, dry with sunny spells.
So Gianni Infantino is set for crisis talks in Morocco with some of his senior staff, not all of whom are on side.
I think he goes. Yeah, I think so much pressure will be put on him.
When you have such a pratfall as big as this one and all the other ones we've had only in the last few weeks,
the idea that the same person can be trusted to be the face of the organisation would be unthinkable.
You know, we need to have a candidate that can really unite everyone across the world to ensure that he or she is capable of beating Infantino. So let's see how the next days and weeks move, because things are happening very fast, but I'd be very surprised if there wasn't an alternative candidate.
This is Max Rush and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. So, yeah, Figo posting in the last hour or so saying, today I join others from across our game and call for Gianni Infantino to resign as FIFA president. Infantino has debased the office that he promised to elevate. He has lied, deceived and tried to feather his own nest at the expense of the game he's supposed to serve. He has lost the support of his senior staff, his closest advisors, the vast majority of people who devote their lives to this sport, and even, it would seem, the FIFA Peace Prize winner. It's too late to save his dignity. It's not too late to save football. He should go now. #Infantino out. Which, as somebody who has spoken about this for years and years and years, it is so... I mean, I can't stand the man. I think he has been awful for this game. I think he doesn't care about... He does not care about football fans in any part of the world, anywhere. To see the possible demise of this guy is just glorious for me. Anyway, let's talk to Henry Winter, co-host of Sunday Edition. Of course, marvellous sports journalist elsewhere as well. Henry, you okay?
Hello, Henry.
I love the idea of Luis Figo going in two-footed. I mean, I covered a lot of his career, but red card risking challenges, not sort of too high on them. So, look, he's absolutely right. Say what you think, Lewis. I mean, he did go in two-foot. He probably went in three-footed, if that's possible. He's not representing the Isle of Man. But no, I just thought it was absolutely spot on. And, you know, I mean, it's interesting. You played that clip from Laura McAllister from the Welsh FA there. And when you hear people like her, people who embedded the game as a player and now as a very so highly regarded administrator, very balanced individual, if you followed Laura's career, you go, wow, I mean, the clock really is ticking on Infantino.
Yeah, I mean, you hope so. Well, I hope so. And I suppose it is interesting in situations like this. You see it with politicians, you see it in all sort of walks of life, you know, the domino effect of this. And the question is, what is Infantino doing now? He is trying to get... There are still people that support him. What he is trying to get enough of them to have support, because it's not easy to oust him, right? If there was a vote for just FA, you know, the heads of FAs across the world, he might win that tomorrow because of how many vested interests there are. But if there's enough of a groundswell of opinion from big countries who have big interest in football, will that be enough to get rid of him?
Well, let's look at the bubble that we're in. The groundswell is mainly from Europe. If you get, I mean, it's no surprise, you know, this is not a sort of Cluedo game. It's no surprise that he is in Rabat in Morocco. They support him. Obviously, they're one of the co-hosts to an extent of 2030. He has support in Africa. I've been talking to people in Africa. When you get interviewed by them, they go, why are you Europeans so against us? I.e., if you're against Infantino, you're against some of the developing world. So it's far more nuanced than we think. I completely agree with you. There should be a groundswell of support and anger against him. There should also be a totting up process in terms of, you know, he effectively allowed Messi's Inter Miami to be parachuted into the Club World Cup. He effectively allowed Cristiano Ronaldo to skip 2 games of his suspension so he could start the World Cup group stage for Portugal because he and others wanted the big stars there. Peace prizes, as you've mentioned, the Balogun event, polite way of putting it. Hydration breaks, clearly for commercial reasons. I have to say I didn't object too much to the halftime Super Bowl style entertainment. I quite enjoyed it. Actually, it helped my match report. I had a couple more minutes. But seriously, actually, from a player's perspective, you know, someone could have gone out and tweaked a hamstring after waiting 27 minutes at halftime rather than usual 15 minutes. That's a very technical player thing, but that's what he's missed. And you're completely right. He's cut off from the fans. We saw that on the ticket prices. And actually, he must be cut off from the players if he's wanting a 27-minute halftime Super Bowl style break, because that does not help players.
Do you think he'll be shocked that despite all the things he has tried to do for the game, that this is the one that seems to have broken the camel's back?
Well, this is outrageous, Charlie. I mean, I think that everyone, the moment they saw it, and I do think it's alarming that there are people around him who really should be giving him good advice, didn't say, look, read the room, you come out with this and you are going to get absolutely pilloried, particularly by the powerhouses in Europe. I mean, look, UEFA have expanded the Champions League. The Champions League is about money. So, look, it's a slightly sort of low moral high ground, as it were, but they're completely right. You can't sell off the World Cup. It's not his to sell off the World Cup. No. So, you know, the World Cup is about you know, the Tartan Army drinking Boston Dry. The World Cup is about Mexico and England fans celebrating, even though Mexico lost, having the most brilliant time after an extraordinary night in the Azteca. That's what the game's about, and that's what Infantino's just lost. And I feel sad for him if he doesn't appreciate those wonderful moments, but he's drifted away from that, and he needs to get out of the sport as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And one thing that really frustrates me, Henry, is this: it's criticism that he has used before when journalists have had a go at him, saying it's Eurocentric, almost a sort of racist opinion, like a hubris that you have in Europe about football, because he doesn't care about the Qatari, the migrant workers, mainly from sort of Nepal and Bangladesh, that died in Qatar, right? He just doesn't care. He doesn't care about Ukrainians. He still hasn't given back his Medal of Honor or what it is to Vladimir Putin. Doesn't care about any of the victims of human rights abuses in Saudi Arabia, because he managed to gerrymander the World Cup going there in 2034 by putting this next World Cup in Europe and Africa and South America. So I thought what was interesting is the Jordanian head of the FA, Ali Al Hussein, because that is not a European voice, and that is someone saying we're a small country and you know we uphold ethical values. We didn't endorse him before. We will not now. The whole situation, you know, amounts to blackmail. Basically, they were said, you know, they couldn't get all their fans to the USA, and they were sort of said, listen, he said this, if you know, FIFA's been refusing to help us on any of these matters until it was verbally communicated to me during the World Cup that if I endorsed Infantino, it would go a long way to helping our FA out. And that is absolutely outrageous.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, slightly putting it into context, Prince Ali has stood against him in the past for the presidential election. But notwithstanding that, he's absolutely completely right. And everything he said there, I'm sure, will be echoed around. But what I find fascinating, and the crunch of the matter, because he will be surrounded. It's interesting, actually. He's got FIFA's main legal advisor, plus their main PR, director of comms, Brian Swanson, who you probably work with him. At Sky. Brian's a really good guy. And, you know, it's crazy. There are 960 people work full-time for FIFA. There are a lot of good people in the building. We saw Kevin Lamoury's statement to AP, the chief operating officer, basically saying, this is wrong. If you get rid of me, I don't care, because I'll be able to sleep easily tonight. So there are good people there, and that's why I think FIFA there needs to be almost like a palace coup from within, which I guess most palace coups are, to be fair, and actually get rid of it. And that has to be the FIFA Council. And, you know, they need 19 members of the 37, my maths is terrible, to force an emergency meeting. It's down to them. We can stamp our feet in Europe. We can say we're going to boycott an event, by the way, which will be hosted in Europe, predominantly Portugal and Spain, the next World Cup. That will cost those countries billions of pounds. Be interesting to see whether UEFA actually went through with that. But no, it needs to be the people within the building easing him out. I mean, Max, you like your Shakespeare. You know, Charlie, I'm sure you've heard of him. They're absolutely key that, you know, this dysfunctional family of football, they have to unite and react against this leader who effectively has gone rogue over this particular plan.
Yeah.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their lives, who'd misadventured piteous overthrows, doth with their death bury their parents.
Is that Cool Runnings?
Perfectly.
That's the Romeo and Juliet prologue, and I can do you many. Try not to patronise me too much.
No, I wasn't. I love you to bits. I actually thought you were going to mention Christian Romero. I thought you were going to get booked halfway through the What a great day for talkSPORT. Alan Brazil returns, and Charlie does Shakespeare.
Good stuff, Henry. Thanks for coming on.
Take care, guys.
Henry Winter there. Oh, that was very impressive, Charlie.
Classically trained, Max.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He knows I like my Shakespeare.
What Shakespeare do you like?
Throw physic to the dog. Here we go. Come on, I've got a bit.
That's soft.
I was
like 3 under.
Who did you play? 1889. Brutus, Shylock.
What's your favourite Shakespeare?
Who else did I play? They were my big two.
Okay, with the big two.
Banquo.
Banquo, good.
Yeah,
good part Banquo.
Good parts. So you know,
the Friends. You played the Friends.
Yeah. What did you play in? It's just absolute heartland, isn't it?
This was Henry's fault.
It's Henry's fault.
This is Henry's fault.
You really took the bait.
You just go, you're real there.
Yeah.
Oh, listen to talkSPORT. I never read a book. What's a book, Henry? What's you doing then?
It's Charlie. It's because you give off this man of the people vibe, right? That I can't possibly. It actually turns out I'm a cultural desert.
You
there we are.
Dry.
A
dry
If
do.
you prick me, do I not bleed? I think Jim and Simon were doing this the other day, weren't they? I can't believe it. To be or not to be. That's him. And anyway, what are we doing next? Sam Dallen, we'll do some Newcastle in just a second. But yeah, if anyone has any power within FIFA and could boot Gianni Infantino out the door, the only thing is, when Blatter went, we all went, oh, thank God.
He's mad because all he had to do was stay quiet. All you have to do is
that's the trouble. Power corrupts, and then by all accounts, he was upset with only earning $6 million a year and private jetting around and being a cutaway in every single game. He's a total
Anonymous
disgrace.
played Danny in Shakespeare's Greece.
So well. Anyway, Max and Charlie here until 4. We'll talk to Sam Dalling, broadcaster and Newcastle fan, in just a second about them selling Guimaraes amongst others.
I anticipate Arsenal to absolutely go again and just be as good as they've been this season.
Mm.
The key element for me on the title this year is Rodri.
Mm.
If Rodri's a Manchester City player throughout the whole course of the season, Manchester City will win the league.
That's a shouting off, that isn't it?
Do you disagree? If Manchester City lose Rodri and he goes to Real Madrid, they will not win the league.
I know what you're saying, but I look at it as well because Anderson's coming, isn't he?
Yeah. So he's not Rodri.
I know he's not Rodri.
But he'll benefit from playing alongside him.
Yeah, that would happen.
But if you leave him on his own in there, I think you've got carnage.
Mm. I do know what you're saying, but I think there's more of a factor that Maresca might not be up for it either. You don't know yet.
I think he's up for it.
You reckon he's up for it?
I think he's up for it.
We'll see.
He knows that club. He's been at that club. He understands how that club
You're
works.
talking like a real Manchester City supporter.
He went to Chelsea. He did.
Are you Blackburn? You're a Blackburn fan, yeah?
Yeah, hold on a minute. We'll talk about their dismal summer in a minute.
What about the other teams?
Why are you doing this? Why are you deflecting?
Well, I'm just trying to say.
All I was doing was talking about the Premier League title race. That's all I was saying. And I was just saying that the big impact, the key piece of information for me is Rodri being a Man City player throughout the whole course of the season. And if he is, Manchester City will win the league.
Cool, but that's a shout.
Do you not think so?
So where was he last season?
Getting back from his ACL, mate. Do you not think so?
No, listen, mate.
So you're tipping Arsenal. You think so? You believe in what I said at the start of the show, that you believe that we're entering a dynasty time.
Yeah, but I wouldn't hang my hat on it.
it's a disaster for Newcastle, isn't it?
Let's not beat around the bush. One of the big factors in Eddie Howe's decision to stand down was the fact his best players were being sold from underneath him, and clearly he didn't have faith in the players that were coming in that Newcastle would be able to mount any kind of European challenge this season.
It just looks as though it's a little bit of a mass exodus at the moment. Big concern to lose the quality on and off the pitch. You know, I'm talking about Eddie as well.
I do fear for them. I'd like to know where they would be in 2 seasons' time. Are we sitting here saying, my word, what happened to Newcastle? Or are we saying they've kicked on, look at them, they're going for the league now?
I like Ali underplaying a little bit of a mass exodus, isn't it? Just a little bit of one, isn't it? Interesting to hear from Newcastle fans, and we'll talk to one of them now. Sam Dalling, broadcaster and Newcastle fan, joins us. Hey, Sam.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, what a lovely montage. I really enjoyed listening to that. It's vindicated my decision to take time out just before my nephew's 4th birthday party to chat to you guys.
Oh,
so
lovely.
thank you.
Maybe put that on the Bluetooth speaker for them to listen to, but pass the parcel.
How are you feeling, Sam? Because, you know, sometimes people go, I think like last season, everyone went, oh, you fear for Brentford, don't you? You know, Thomas Frank's gone, they've lost Mbema, they've lost Wisser, they've lost, Norgard went, and everyone went, yeah, I think they're going to struggle. We don't know about Keith Andrews. Lots of people don't know about the new manager that's going to be announced later, but we think we all know who it is. You've lost your midfield, etc., etc. Do you think there is a situation where actually this will be totally fine?
Yeah, absolutely right. It's exciting. I have no idea. We know that Yeister's going to be announced later. I'm looking forward to the inevitable Yeister-like and Boogie song in the away end.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's already started. We know he's there, right? Because the club seem to have got some kind of media blackout going, and that usually these pre-season tours, you have like loads of social media, loads of content created, and actually there's just one bloke who happens to be a Newcastle fan who's randomly in the same hotel, and he just keeps posting pictures. I think he's probably annoying his family because he keeps waiting in the foyer. They've gone away for a week in the sun. This guy's just in the foyer waiting for Newcastle players. So Yeister is there. We know that. And know nothing about him. So I'm not going to come on and pretend to be one of those people like, oh, yes, well, actually, back in 2021, I was tracking him and he's done this, that, and the other. There's some decent journalists who know their stuff who seem to be quite excited about him. We just don't know. Newcastle could go down. It could be absolutely brilliant. And it's fresh, right? It'll be fun.
I don't think you're going to go down. I don't think it's a bad season to have a bit of a sea change. Who have you still got at the club to give you some hope, Sam?
Right now,
who have you still got? I'm trying to build you a spine. Have you got a spine at least?
Have we got a spine?
Dan Burn?
Yeah. Dan Burn, you'd imagine, is going to end up being club captain. Lewis Miley's just signed a new contract. They're very excited about him. The lad they signed from Ajax is meant to be very good, Sean Steer, with the exception that he's played, or the caveat that he's played no first-team football. I quite liked he played half an hour against Gateshead in a friendly a week or so ago. And already you've got journalists go, well, there's kind of shades of Bruno about him. He could be the replacement. You're like, the kid's 18. Give him a chance. He's played against Gateshead. Maybe something will happen to Johan Wisser and Elanga, and they'll come back as
Wisser had a good World Cup.
New signings. He did.
So.
But yeah, it's all changed, right? It's going to be very different. And I actually think Newcastle, it needed to be very different. We haven't probably got long enough to go into all the details of it, but certainly there needed to be a change. It's just happened all at once, probably because of errors that have been made in the past couple of years, not staggering it, not quite having that footballing structure in place that has meant it's stayed very much the same. And then suddenly, if you there's this picture of the players and coaches on the pitch at Wembley, March 2025, and then people are sort of blacking out the staff and players that have now gone. There's basically barely anyone left from that cup-winning side, and that's 13 months ago.
Yeah. Of Tonali and Guimaraes, are either of those where you're going, actually, that's not bad money, they're not as good as people are saying, or and I'm hoping you're saying Tonali's the one I'm really sad about my Spurs hat on, but like, with either of those players, you're like, actually, it's not a disaster?
It's not a disaster in the fact if players don't want to be at your football club anymore. I think you need to get rid of them. But I think the thing that will frustrate Newcastle fans most is Tonali going for more money than Bruno Guimaraes seems to like really hurt for some reason. And the problem Newcastle have had with Guimaraes is he is far more valuable to Newcastle United than his market value. So talks of him being £100 million midfielder. And by the way, he did have a release clause for £100 million 2 years ago, and no one wanted to come in. The value he brings to Newcastle, because he has carried the team on his shoulder at times, particularly last season, and he is this talismanic figure, and he was the captain. I have to get used to talking about him in the past tense. The fact that he has gone for less money than Tonali, who basically had his season where he wasn't able to play fine, had one brilliant season where you thought, okay, this is a wonderful footballer. And then last year didn't do anything and checked out. And there was a point, Bruno Guimaraes got injured in a win away at Tottenham early in the year. And you thought, okay, so he's going to be out for a while. This is when Tonali can really step up and be the leader of that midfield. And he didn't do it. So as much as it hurts to be losing players to Tottenham, it feels like very good money for Sandro Tonali. It just feels like the wrong way round in terms of their value to Newcastle. But I can see with Guimaraes and people talking about his age, and that's where the value is slightly different.
Right. So if you were to predict your Premier League table now, where are you putting Newcastle?
I think a very fun season would be to sneak into Europe, right? Because there are youngsters and they haven't got a lot of experience, but you just don't know. What the hope is, right? You said Brentford, Bournemouth last year as well. We were all thinking, Bournemouth will get relegated. Look how well they did. So if some of those players can gel, and they need to bring in a little bit of experience, and there was talk in the Telegraph suggested that they've got someone lined up. So hopefully they bring in a midfielder. It's not going to be at the same level of a Bruno Guimaraes, but they need to bring a few players in. I mean, people talk about how much money Newcastle have spent. Actually, it was interesting. Now that Guimaraes has gone, they've basically broken even since last summer. So I think they've spent nearly £400 million, but they've also brought that in terms of outgoing players. So I think sneaking into Europe would be wonderful. And I suspect that's probably still the club's aim, right? The expectation on the Oyster is, can you finish in that top 7 or 8?
What's the spread at the fourth birthday party? And is there any entertainment?
It's very Toy Story heavy, actually.
Okay.
The young lad is very into his Toy Story. So my daughter has got her Jessie the Cowboy outfit ready to go. I think she's just been woken up from her nap. I mean, I can't move. It's like, in fact, both myself and my mum have bought the same Toy Story birthday card probably from Etsy. So that's a bit of a blow. But what can you do? What can you do?
Well, hopefully he'll forgive you, I would say, the nephew. But okay, well, look, good
luck with it.
To infinity and beyond. I mean, that's a terrible way to end this. But we were doing Shakespeare quotes. I've got fewer Toy Story quotes. I'll be honest.
Better than the start.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. I've got something. Cheers, Sam.
Ciao.
Sam, down in there.
I had a question about the Toy Story party, but I decided not to say it, Max, because I'm a grown-up. And I will tell you it off air.
Go on, tell us on it. No. There can't be anything blue in Toy Story. No, I tell you, Buzz Lightyear does a great blue routine if you need it. Does he? He does it really.
If he needs to.
If he needs to. Yeah. Hey, classic Alan, eh? And he's back today. Back on Friday
brilliant.
As well. Big Al. So that is wonderful news. It's Max and Charlie here until 4. We'll do some paddle in just a second. First ever professional paddle tournament taking place at the Olympia in Hammersmith this week. And then our interview with Moses Atauma. He maybe they haven't told him it was the same idiots that interviewed him last October. But look, we've done our research.
We've got some good listeners' questions.
Good listeners' questions. We've got some silly listeners' questions. We'll see how we go. That's all coming up before 3 o'clock.
Let's talk about Jack Grealish. Obviously, you bumped into him on holiday. Everton opted against a $50 million buyout option, but I saw in the Liverpool Echo, 83% of Everton fans want the club to sign Jack Grealish. Do you think he'll end up there?
I think there's a good chance he will, but I didn't understand the £50 million that Man City thought they were going to get. A year left on his contract. Like, you're never going to get that sort of money for Manchester City if they can get a fee at all. Because it's a club like Everton or wherever Jack signs for might be like the wages. Maybe we'll cover the wages for a year and then that's it. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But seeing him over in Mallorca, he was fit. He was training at Real Mallorca's training ground because they were away in Marbella pre-season. He's hungry. He's looking after himself. He's doing all the right things. And, you know, some players at 30, Jeff, he's won it all.
Yeah.
Doesn't need any more money. But he wants to play. He's addicted to football. He loves football. He would have been so jealous watching the players at the World Cup. He still wants to play at the highest level, and he showed that by the pre-season that he's had. So any reports as well that were fake reports you were hearing about being left out of Manchester City squad, no, I don't think he's clear to train for another 10 days.
Life after football. For a lot of players, it means going into punditry. Some turn to coaching or working in the game in other ways. But what about the rest? Some former footballers turn their sights away from the game, and there are a few big surprises. First up, from rainbow flicks to pancake flips. Ex-Chelsea and Southampton defender Ken Monku switched up his footballing career to buy a Dutch pancake house. Next, Everton legend Thomas Gravesen swapped out the high stakes of the Premier League for those of the poker room. Turned out the Danish international was pretty darn good at poker. He racked up a reported £100 million from his Las Vegas adventures. Remember former Chelsea goalkeeper Petr Cech? Turns out football nets weren't the only goals he was pretty handy in front of. After retirement, he became a goaltender in ice hockey. Same skills, very different surface. It's not all glamour for ex-pros, though. 1966 World Cup winner Ray Wilson set up a very different kind of business. He became an undertaker after he retired. Finally, not many people can say they've won both a World Cup and starred in an Oscar-winning film. In fact, there's only one person in the entire world who can say that. Frank Leboeuf had already begun acting on the side while he was playing football, and his biggest role came some years after his retirement when he landed the part of a doctor in the Stephen Hawking biopic The Theory of Everything. To be honest, with all the dramatic diving in the game these days, there's probably tons of ex-pros who've got the acting skills to make it in Hollywood.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Everyone's got an opinion. Back yours at Betfair. 18+GambleAware.org.
Time now to get the latest odds with James Mackey from our friends and new official betting partner Betfair. Welcome, James. How are you?
James.
How are we doing, Max? How are we doing, Charlie?
Very
All
well,
right?
thank you, James. Yeah,
Good.
nice to speak to you.
Good, thank you. Let's talk about so Arsenal are getting Bruno Guimaraes, and what does that mean? They must be favourites. You sort of look at all the other sides at the moment, the question marks around them, that they have a real chance to win back-to-back Premier League titles.
Well, it's twofold, this news, isn't it? Because obviously it impacts both Newcastle and Arsenal. We'll start with Arsenal. They're signing a proper player. They're signing a leader, which really strengthens their chances of winning back-to-back Premier Leagues. They're currently the 6-4 favourites to do that. As short as 8-15 to finish in the top 2, and as short as 1-14 to finish in the top 4 this season. As mentioned yesterday with Paul and Andy, they're second favourites at 6-1 to win the Champions League this season, having fell short last season to PSG. And obviously Arsenal, they're their only team in the Premier League history to go unbeaten in a season. Can they do it again with Bruno G coming in? Well, they're 33-1 to go invincible this season.
They've never mentioned that. Not winning, not losing in the season. They should bring that up more often, shouldn't they? And what about the top 6 is really interesting this season. I just think with Chelsea having no Europe and investing a lot, Spurs investing well. I mean, maybe it's a stretch to say top 6 for them, but haven't got European football either, and that can really help. And I just think it is really fascinating how that top 4, who will get in that top 4.
No, definitely. The top 4, especially when you've got 13 different managers coming into the Premier League this season, I don't think you know exactly what any team's going to do, really, with a lot of them obviously going through changes. Just on Newcastle, though, we're looking at them at the moment off the back of the Bruno Guimaraes news. So they've seen Howe, Tonali and Gordon all exit St James's Park. We've obviously seen Isak go last season. It's been a really tough time for Newcastle fans of late, and that's represented in their odds heading into the season, as they were as high as 33-1 to be relegated. But off the back of all this news over the last few months, they're now into 10-1. To be relegated. And interestingly, we've actually seen more bets on Newcastle to be relegated than Sunderland so far on the Betfair Sportsbook, which is really interesting. You mentioned the top 4 and the top placings there. Well, Newcastle, they need to bring in some reinforcements, and they're currently 14-1 for a top 4 finish, 6-1 for a top 5 finish, and 4-1 for a top 6 finish. And if you really want to stick it to Newcastle fans at the moment, they're 55-1 to finish rock bottom of the Premier League this season. How do you guys think Newcastle will get on after all this?
I do not think they will. I do not think they will finish rock bottom by any chance.
I think they'll probably be fine. I haven't done my top 20. I normally forget at least 2 teams. I normally forget West Ham and put Villa in twice or something like that. Just like a kit-based thing. So once I've done it, I'll come back to you, James. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Thanks, Max. All the best. Thanks, Charlie.
For the next offers, go to betfair.com, 18+ gambleaware.org.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Betfair. Everyone's got an opinion. Back yours at Betfair. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Now,
I'll be honest, I did think we were about to talk to Jamie Mackey, the former
QPR centre forward. Okay, I don't think that was Jamie Mackey.
No, it wasn't.
No. Right, London's going to host its first ever professional paddle tournament this week. It could be a regular fixture on the Premier Paddle calendar. Let's talk to British paddle player Nikhil Mahindra. Hey, Nikhil, how are you doing?
Hi guys, how are you?
Yeah,
Pleasure
very
to
good.
be here.
How big a moment is this for British paddle?
It's huge, the biggest event ever to be held on British soil. I mean, I've been playing for about 8 years now. Never seen an event like this held in London. But yeah, real honour to see this happen.
Well, there was the talkSPORT Paddle Trophy, which you more or less nearly won single-handed, Nikhil, at one point.
Yeah, I had a partner for that. It was definitely not single-handed, but
did
it was
seem
a great
to be doing most of the work, I will say.
That was the tactic.
So you're saying this tournament is bigger than the talkSPORT Paddle Trophy?
Wow.
Is that what you're saying? It's a controversial view, Nikhil.
Some would say, but I think I came runners up in the talkSPORT, so I'd say that's bigger.
Okay, give us an idea of how big is professional paddle now? I mean, the growth has been exponential.
Absolutely. It's exploded ever since the QSI, who own PSG. Nasser Al Khalifi is also the chairman of the Premier Paddle. He's put enormous sums of money into it. And this P1 is similar, you could say, to a Grand Slam in tennis. There's not many a year. And this London one is extra special because it's in England. Everything is a lot bigger, a lot more professional. So, yeah, it's a massive event.
And is where do the top paddle players come from? Are they and this is an offensive question, are they guys that were sort of playing tennis to a really high level but not quite the top level, or is it a totally different set of people?
Not quite. So it's how we view football here. So paddle was founded in 1969 in Mexico, and the best players are some from Mexico, Spain, Argentina, very South American sport. The best is always hotly contested in between Argentina and Spain. They're playing it since they were 3, 4, 5 years old.
Right. And do the Argentinians just smack you over the head with the bat and the Spanish try to play properly? Is that
Honestly,
how it works?
a couple of the British players played against the Argentines yesterday, and everyone was still holding a bit of a grudge from the World Cup. But yeah.
You're allowed to throw your racket at people? I don't know.
Paredes would,
Exactly.
wouldn't it?
And it's growing and growing and growing. It seems to be growing amongst a lot of ex-footballers and ex-rugby players and sports people who found that they can carry on playing this sport. So it's really massive in the public eye, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think that's what's helped grow the sport as well. You've got these huge sporting legends and icons. There are millions of followers, they're posting it, and people are thinking, oh, that's not tennis, that's not squash, what's that? So they're jumping on it. So I think that's been a real push for the sport, which has been amazing.
Yeah, and it's a great participation sport. Is it good on telly? Because I used to play before my knees went. I played a lot of squash. I love squash. So fun to play. But I don't want to watch it on TV because like a winning shot just doesn't look great. You know, I much prefer playing it to tennis, but like a Federer backhand down the line looks amazing. Does paddle translate to watching it on TV or watching it as a spectator?
That's a great point. I think no sport is as good as you watching it live. Apart from F1, I think that's better on TV. But I think I've watched tennis for many years, but paddle is much better watching it live. On the TV, you don't get to see the speed of it. Same as tennis. When you go to watch it live, you see Djokovic or Sinner hitting that forehand, or like you said, Federer. You don't appreciate the speed that they play at until you watch it live.
Are you in this tournament?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to play this year, but all of my GB teammates are in it, and they're currently competing today and yesterday.
Because the £409,000, is that overall, or is that for the winner? Is that
No, so that's split. So the winners usually get, is much lower compared to tennis, about £25,000 each.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about Wimbledon, they get in, I think Sinner picked up nearly £5 million this year. It's a very drastic change, but yeah.
But it's a growing sport, and you know it might get the right backers, and it'll get to that level, won't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Good stuff. Well, thank you for coming on, Nikhil. Thank you for.
He's a very nice man.
Well, no,
Nikhil, we met him.
I can't believe he's played for 8 years because you're a very young man, Nikhil. I mean,
did you start with squash, Nikhil, or
when he was
tennis?
2?
I'm a very poor squash and tennis player, to be honest. I was a big football player and a big football fan. So yeah.
Who's your team?
West Ham, which I didn't appreciate. You just said you'd forget about West Ham.
Sorry about that.
Twice.
I do apologise. Are you pleased that Jarrod Bowen that's a massive coup that Bowen is staying?
I mean, we've lost some really key players, for example, Somerville, but I think Bowen, we've got a Premier League team, in my opinion, in the Championship, but it would be tough. Championship, everyone's saying we'll come straight up. It's more games, more pressure, more travelling. So yeah, let's see.
He'll be there till Christmas when someone will have to buy him to try and stay up.
No, it's an amazing move for Bowen. I thought he'd definitely go. And well, good luck this season.
Thanks, Nikhil.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Nikhil Mahindra there, British paddle player. So yeah, it is the first ever professional paddle tournament this week. I haven't done it yet.
Darren Bent's very good. Very good at it. Gabby Agbonlahor really hits it hard.
Does he? Okay.
It's his main thing.
Okay.
Hit it hard.
Okay. There's no subtlety to Agbonlahor. Right, okay.
Darren Bent, very good.
Okay.
It depends on your partner quite a lot of the time.
Is that right?
How you get on.
Who did you play with?
I didn't play. I was just hosting.
Oh, you were hosting it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And dressed up with a wig. You know.
Why were they
an idiot?
Why were you in a wig?
Because I was hosting they asked me to wear this costume.
Who asked you to do that?
The people who were paying the bills.
Right. But what relevance does a wig have?
I was dressed up as
Pat Cash?
John McEnroe.
Right, okay. And who else was there hosting?
Everyone.
Right. So you're doing the whole thing dressed as John McEnroe?
Yeah. That's the sort of thing.
And if they just say, put this on?
I've dressed many things for it.
There was a moment early in our warm-up career where me and Barry were asked to put on a onesie for sponsors.
Same one?
And no, different ones. And we just said no.
Oh, really? Yeah. Said no?
Because it became a big hoo-ha. And I like to think I'm pretty relaxed about these things.
Yeah.
Tell me in advance. Don't just hand me a onesie and say, get this on.
Do you think you look back at that now and you think maybe you should have just put the onesie on, sucked it up?
I don't think so. Do you think I'd have breakfast? The breakfast show?
Yes.
Oh, is that amenable? Okay, give me a onesie. I'll stick it on.
In association with Toolstation onesies.
I'll wear a Toolstation onesie. Actually, I haven't said Toolstation enough. Now you make that point. This is Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. First stop for everything. For the job from 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. Start strong, start it right. First stop, Toolstation. British professional boxer and soon-to-be world heavyweight champion Moses Atama joins us in just a second.
£75 million for a player whose biggest attribute is to fall over on the edge of the box and win himself a free kick.
Gosh,
is good money. And if he wants to go and sit on Arsenal's bench, where he'll not be adored like he was at Newcastle, then he's basically going for the money.
The tune has turned. The tune has turned.
All right. So tell me you're not bitter.
Oh, I'm not bitter.
Stop that! He can't be talking like. What is he doing? Just on the floor? He's
falling at the edge of the box. Falling at the edge of the box.
Falling at the edge of the box. Nah, you're bitter, man. Come on, you got to be. You can't be saying them type of lyrics there on live national radio. He was good for you lot. You know that.
He was good. I tell you what.
Yeah, and if he's got down the motorway, if he's going down the motorway and he says, you know what, I've got to change your heart, I'm going back. Are you gonna have him back, or are you gonna batter him just for thinking about leaving?
Me personally, I would have him back. I don't want him to go, but I think it's good. I think it's good money for a player who's limited.
Oh God!
It is good money.
Why do you have to have the dig though? Don't stop having the dig.
And the key thing is now, mate, reinvesting it into the play staff, isn't it? I mean, the money that you've pulled in with Tonali and Wood, and obviously now this week Guimaraes, you've got to reinvest it into the lads, haven't you?
Yeah.
And when we finish above Arsenal, Spurs, and Liverpool at the end of the season, and look down on all of them players who've left, right? talkSPORT will need to find something else to talk about, won't they?
This Moses Atama, I think he's the one.
I really do. And I just think he'll be too quick, he'll be too vicious, he'll be too aggressive, and he won't miss. He won't miss Philip.
This is a step up for Moses Atauma. This is the launch pad, but I expect him to shine. I think that he's going to be the dominant force in the heavyweight division over the next decade or so. Unbelievable fighter, southpaw, quick, unbelievable boxing IQ, quick feet, spiteful puncher, and he's going to be the superstar.
So yeah, the O2 in London on the 29th of August. Moses Atauma has the chance to become the second youngest heavyweight champion ever. The youngest being Mike Tyson. Third is Muhammad Ali. Moses joins us now. How are you?
What's going on?
Yeah, nice to
speak to you, Moses.
Nice to have you on. It's nice. Is it nice to be put in that sentence in between Tyson and Ali?
I mean, I just think obviously becoming a world champion at such a young age is an achievement of myself. I believe second is the first loser, so obviously I don't really want to cap that claim.
Fair enough.
But it would be nice, of course.
Yeah, and so does it feel different training for a world title fight to other fights, or did you treat it exactly the same?
No, not really. Like when obviously the camp with Filip Hrgović was going great, and then when I heard that there was an opportunity for it to be a world title, nothing changed. It was still the same camp, still same sparring, still same motion. So yeah, it's probably just I got a bit more. I don't know, something more to fight for, if that makes sense.
Sure.
You started boxing when you were 9. You sparred with Lawrence Okoli in your school uniform when you were 16. It's moving fast for you. Does it feel like you're moving towards your destiny? Does it feel fast to you?
I don't really know. I think that's something that I guess people outside the ring notice. For me, I'm going into the ring and do a job. It was slow step ups, obviously from Wack to Dempsey McKean to Dillian Wyatt to Jermaine Franklin, and obviously Filip Hrgović is the next puzzle. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's been rushed. Obviously been boxing for 11, 12 years, so I wouldn't really say that I'm being rushed, if that makes sense.
I didn't say you were being rushed. I just felt like it's moved quicker. It's moved quicker than it has for other people. So just wondering if it feels fast to you or just feels natural to you.
Honestly, like that's something I just don't really pay attention to. I just get in the ring and fight. I come out. I guess I'm blinded to that side. I guess life moves quickly. So yeah, I like to move quickly with it.
Sure. We heard in that montage people saying that this is a step up for you. Do you see this as the hardest fight you'll ever have so far that you'd have?
No, of course. This is the hardest fight. Like professional, amateur, like it's just the threat, the opposition, the what's at stake. Of course, like it's the biggest fight of my life, and especially what I do like about this fight is that obviously Filip Hrgović has achieved so much great things in his career, and like the good thing about my position is I get to add them accolades onto my career, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So obviously beating Filip Hrgović, like I guess obviously I'm not looking for it, but I guess I can get some credit, and even to myself, I might even pat myself on the back and actually finally say, do you know what, you've done something you can be proud of.
Yeah. We've had some listeners' questions for you, Moses. Nigel in Leon Solent says, please ask Moses, what was the most challenging fight of your amateur career, and what did you learn from it at the time?
My most challenging fight in my amateur career would definitely have been against Alois. Alois Jr. is also boxing on the same night. He also trains at the Ben Davison stable. But yeah, I remember it was the junior semi-finals.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know who he was, and obviously he knew who I was, and I just thought I was just go in there and try to stop him, and then just left the ring with a concussion. So
right.
So yeah, it was definitely my toughest fight.
When
as
you
an
look,
amateur.
when you look at the the older heavyweights, AJ and Tyson Fury fighting each other, would you like to sort of get them in a line and knock them all over and just say, right, I'm the new guy?
Move on, yeah.
Not really. I think for me to do or suggest that, I think it's a bit disrespectful. Like AJ obviously isn't in his prime, neither is Tyson Fury, and I think it would be disrespectful for me to say I'd love to fight these guys now because obviously they're not, and obviously this isn't to obviously hate or throw shade, but obviously they're not the fighters that they once was, but obviously they're still very good and capable fighters. If we was in our primes, it would obviously, if we were both in our primes, all three of us would have been in our primes, it would be lovely fights, but obviously I got Filip Hrgović in front of me.
Yeah, and he can take a punch. He's a hard man, isn't he? How do you beat him, Moses?
I don't know how to politically answer this question correctly.
Don't answer it politically correctly. Just
tell us how you tell us. Well, I suppose you can't. You don't want to give away how you feel.
Obviously, I don't want to give away the game plan, but
no.
Yeah, I don't want to give away the game plan, but I believe that I can expose some of his weaknesses. He's got a lot of strength, and I think I can use that against him as well. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Your brother's a boxer as well, isn't he?
That's something you need to tune in on Fight Night.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, we'll find out how you beat him on Fight Night. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying.
Exactly.
You say you're growing up. I read your favourite fighter growing up was Prince Nassim Hamed. That style of showmanship. You like to get people out as quickly as you can. Have you met Prince Nassim at all?
Yeah. I've met him a few times. I spoke to him a few times. To be honest, growing up, I just had I had a lot of fighters that I'd be obsessed by.
Yeah.
For a long time, and like some of them obviously was Nassim Hamed, James DeGale, George Foreman, Floyd Mayweather, Golovkin, Lomachenko for a long time. Like he was one of my favorite fighters. Yeah. But I remember Nassim Hamed was probably the first one where I remember watching him box and I was like, okay, this is sick.
It's a good question from Paul, which is, can you ask Moses how often he's gone 12 intense rounds in training and how confident you are in a fight that goes that distance? I don't know the longest distance you've gone, Moses, because normally you've won before it's the time's gone.
Yeah. If I'd be completely honest, I don't know if I've done a 12-round spar. I might have, but I wouldn't recall. I would not recall.
That's interesting. And so does that give you any... Is your plan clearly to...
I know I'm about to get slaughtered in the comments.
You're not going to get slaughtered anywhere.
I can already see it. I'm going to see it.
Not at all.
Not at all. Like, if you haven't, that's fine.
We'll protect you. We'll protect you.
Of course, both me and Charlie are pretty hard, so we can...
I don't need protecting, but thank you. I don't need protecting, but thank you.
Is there any part of you that psychologically thinks, I'd like to do 12 rounds just to see what it's like? Or, you know what your training regime is?
No, absolutely not. There's no need to be in the ring longer than you need to be. Whether I knock him out, whether I knock Filip Hrgović out in the first or the last, I'm still gonna get paid the same. Yeah. So, why would you make it?
Good point.
By the hour.
We feel the same about this show, Moses. If we do a really good 10 minutes, we can just leave. And that's the best show for us.
Still waiting. We're 2.5 hours in.
Ken in Hereford wanted to know how many boxing gloves you've got in your house, Moses. And I would be told off if I didn't ask the question. How many boxing gloves do you have in your house?
How many boxing gloves do I have in my house? Yeah. I don't actually have any boxing gloves that I train in. Wow. I have. Like, I keep them all at the gym, or I keep them in a shed somewhere.
Because you don't need them at home.
But at home, I have probably 3 pairs of gloves that are then they're, what do you call it?
Signed? Are they signed?
I should say they're oven gloves, signed, winter gloves.
Signed like memorabilia?
No.
No.
No, like for example, I remember like 2 years ago, Everlast sent me a pair of gloves.
Oh, okay.
And I got a famous artist, Sloan, to like kind of...
the paint on them?
Paint all over them.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
and it's like Do you know what I mean? And then I got another pair where Everlast sent me, and then they got a timer on it. I've hung them up on my wall, and then I got another ones, obviously, for when I was 17. Oh no, when I was 13, I won the schoolboy championships, and obviously with that you get golden gloves. So I don't know what you call them type of gloves. They're memorability,
commemorative gloves. Yeah.
And that's the word.
That's the one you can and you can take a roast out of the oven with those gloves on as well.
You could have a
They
go.
double up that way, don't they?
Anyway, Moses, we believe. I can't wait to see this fight.
It's going to be great. And thank you so much for your time. And you probably don't remember, we interviewed you about a year ago, and boxing is not our strong suit, Moses. But I feel we've done much better this time than the previous interview. But I'm very happy to get direct feedback from you on how we've done in the last 10 minutes.
No, it was good. It was good. I appreciate it. Do you know what? I feel like a lot of fighters, especially, get slated because their interviews might not come across a certain way. But I do feel like the interviewer should also take some of the blame.
I agree. I agree. Moses, I agree.
But you know,
we've done a good job, haven't we?
Let's see. No, you're totally right. And we appreciate your time. And don't forget us when you're the world champion of this.
Let us know if you need help with the ring walk.
And if and if you need protecting,
hold on,
you've got us.
Hold on. I want to, with that sentence, I got that a lot when I was a kid. Remember me when you become a world champion? I always used to say, will you remember me if I don't become a world champion?
That's a good
and
shout.
they'll always be puzzled.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Well, we will. And thank you for coming on, Moses. We appreciate your time. Good luck for this fight.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Good man. Moses Atama there, fighting at the O2 on the 29th of August and for the vacant IBF World Heavyweight title. Listen, he's right. We bear some responsibility.
I think we turned up, Max.
I think the three of us
we had a laugh.
The three of us could have a podcast, is what I'm saying. We're going to be very late for this. Oh, we are replaying the World Cup final, and we need 5 calls immediately. You will decide who actually wins the World Cup, Spain or Argentina. 03717 223344.
Good news about Areola is he went through this with Bournemouth. He lost the whole back four.
Yeah.
And he had some late signings at Bournemouth, and look how they turned out, and look what he did. And I'm pretty sure with the Liverpool ownership, I can be critical of any ownership, including my own, that over the years, they've spent money, and they've won a couple of league titles. Last year, they spent nearly £500 million. You could argue that maybe they overspent in some areas and should have spent in others.
But that's hindsight. Nobody was criticising the window at the
100% everyone thought we'd walk the league. Yeah. And this is football 12 months later where everyone thinks now we're the worst top 6 team in the Premier League. So I dare say Liverpool will look very different by the time the window closes.
Let's hear from Dominic Szoboszlai, shall we? He was speaking ahead of that recent friendly against Leeds, and he discussed the Liverpool squad depth.
I think I can talk from everybody's side that we want to be successful this season. It's a long term because obviously we have a new manager. The team has been changed, and it's maybe not in a couple of months, but in the long term, I think it will work out.
In the long term, it will work, says Dominic.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not a mug. He's just signed a new long-term deal. He sees what's going on. And by the way, they've got a lot of young talent in that squad. I know everyone's trying to say they need 10 new pieces or whatever else, but they still have a lot of good young players.
Feels like it could be a big year for Nguema, bearing in mind they're trying to sign wide players, but they haven't yet managed to get anyone.
He will be a sensation this year. I'll make a prediction that he'll win Young Player of the Year in the Premier League, without a doubt. And they're probably more confident because of him and because he can play left and right side.
The
Here we go. Golden interview, lads. Ben says the only person who ever gets slaughtered in the comments is Max, and like Rocky Balboa, he keeps getting up. Did you exorcise the demon, says Mark? Who knows? It's just really enjoyable listening to you two talking to someone who could punch your faces in. Minister Paul, no shade on Moses for all his answers. Honesty is a quality to respect. So a round of applause. And he says, great interview, Charlie. Well done for turning up, Max. Oh. Anyway, it's Max and Charlie. Here until 4. 03717 223344. We still need a couple of you to get in touch because we are going to replay Spain versus Argentina in the first ever What's the Score? Your chance to decide the score. 03717 223344. A bit like the Oscars. I've talked too long, so the music has stopped. Oh, wow. But here is Tom Clayton with the sports headlines.
Talk Sport.
Max, thank you. Good afternoon. Luis Figo has launched a scathing attack on Gianni Infantino as he works to align supporters at a special meeting in Morocco today. Figo says Infantino's behaviour is the lowest, most deceitful and cravenly self-interested I've ever seen. TalkSport understands there are some within FIFA that would prefer Infantino to hand in his resignation. Football writer Henry Winter says there needs to be action from within.
It needs to be the people within the building easing him out. They're absolutely key that, this dysfunctional family of football, they have to unite and react against this leader who effectively has gone rogue over this particular plan.
Elsewhere today, Bruno Guimaraes finally looks set to become an Arsenal player. After lots of talk this summer, we understand the fee's been agreed and he'll sign a 4-year contract. But TalkSport senior transfer correspondent Ben Jacobs says there may be more to this.
There's some dispute over whether it's 75 period, and Newcastle sources and Arsenal sources are adamant that it's 75 no add-ons. And yet those close to the player and other Brazilian sources that I've spoken to argue that there are some add-ons.
Meanwhile, we understand new Newcastle head coach Matthias Jaisler is set to be confirmed later today. Now, TalkSport has learned Jan Diamanda's move to Real Madrid is happening. It's a €120 million fee pending the club's board's approval. Meanwhile, Mo Salah's arrived in Istanbul ahead of her move to Trabzonspor. Also today, Hull City have confirmed the signing of Greek goalkeeper Konstantinos Zalakis from Olympiacos. For all the latest transfer news, head to talksport.com. And remember, Alan Brazil's back on breakfast this Friday. You can see all the highlights from his glorious return this morning on the TalkSport YouTube channel.
TalkSport News.
A woman's been arrested after 4 people were stabbed in Covent Garden, and a teenager has been found guilty of murdering a 16-year-old boy at a seaside town train station over a £20 drug debt. Amelia's back at past.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit, your go-to destination for quality tyres from great brands like Continental. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
Rain across the north, possibly thundery at times. Elsewhere, dry with sunny spells.
This is big news. You'll remember the World Cup final, probably. Argentina versus Spain. Spain winning 1-0 in extra time. Ferran Torres with the winning goal, just in case. Spoiler alert. Anyway, some Argentina fans are not happy. More than 82,000 signatures on a petition calling for it to be replayed due to the performance of the Slovenian referee Slavko Vincic. What, because he didn't send off enough players? Yeah. But of course, Argentina were very much, they were the fans' champions of this World Cup, choice, weren't they? They played the game in the right way.
They will not believe that they did anything wrong. A lot of them will not believe. If you ask them, they will not believe that anything wrong.
I don't think that's how I would want. That's how I want to see the game played.
Okay.
Anyway, it gives us a great chance to play the first ever version of What's the Score. We need 3 listeners. We have 3 listeners. That's lucky. We wanted 5, but we've got 3. But
you'd have thought you'd get more when you're deciding the World Cup. You think you'd get more.
But maybe the fans don't. People got short attention spans these days, don't they? Can we have the theme tune, please? That's for the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
It's our features. The features require music to make.
Without that, it is thin gruel.
Okay, so here's how it works. It's called What's the Score? Each listener has a chance to add 1 goal to the score, but they don't have to.
Only 1 goal.
Only 1 goal.
No goals.
Or no goals. And at the end, we'll find out the score of the World Cup final. Okay, so it's 0-0, obviously. The game begins 0-0. Kick-off in the World Cup final. Argentina versus Spain. Fred is a Liverpool fan. He joins us. Fred, 03717 223344 if you would like to join in. Fred, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, okay, good. So the game has kicked off between Argentina and Spain. You have the choice to...
you can say 0-0 or 1-0. It's and to who? It's up to you.
But it's up to you. It's the early stages of the game. Could be panning out like a game of chess. We know it's a physical battle. So it's up to you. Say again?
It's 1-0. Who to?
1-0 Spain.
It's 1-0
Spain.
Spain, unbelievable.
Okay.
Taking an early lead.
Thank you, Fred. Appreciate that. Okay, so it's 1-0 to Spain.
I think this is not the petition. The petition is not working out for Argentina.
No, it isn't.
So
Listen, FIFA asked us to replay this game.
1-0 Spain.
1-0 to Spain. Patrick is an Aston Villa fan. Here we go. Hi, Patrick. You okay?
Hello, Patrick.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are we?
Yeah, good. Are you in the basement? Are you in the basement? Have you been banished to the basement by the family?
Toilet. Maybe he's in the toilet.
Are you in the toilet?
That's a bit personal, Max.
It is
personal.
first.
The competition, please.
Okay, absolutely right. Please accept my apologies. Okay, so it's currently 1-0 to Spain. It's 1-0 to Spain. You have a choice. You can add no goals. You can it can be a quiet passive play.
Still be 1-0 if you want.
Or you can do another goal. It's up to you. What do you want to do to the score?
1-0 Argentina.
No, you can't do that.
It's 1-1. It means it's 1-1.
Okay, it's 1-1.
Oh,
it's one apiece.
1-1. It's one apiece.
Okay, well, he set it up perfectly for Dan, the Leeds fan.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Here we go, Dan. You can... hello, Dan. You okay?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks.
Yeah, good. So quite a lot of pressure on you. This is sanctioned by FIFA. We don't think to create a diversion from what's happening there. But it's one apiece in the World Cup final. And it's the first ever What's the Score, where Charlie and I will go through games in history and replay them. It's up to you. You can give a goal to Spain or Argentina, or you can just say no goals. It's completely up to you, Dan. But it's up to you to decide the fate of the Men's World Cup 2026.
Spain score.
2-1 to Spain. There we are. Spain have won the World Cup.
Well done, Spain.
Thanks, Dan. Do you like the feature?
I enjoyed it. I don't think everyone will, but I don't mind.
There we go. 8:10:89, please. We'd like your feedback because this is the only way we'll learn.
Moses Atauma is scared of the. I was amazed at that in the interview that he gives
the comments. He cares about the comments.
Could care less.
It's all right
about the comments.
As you said, Charlie, we'll protect him.
We will protect him.
We will protect him.
We are his official protectors now.
I think we are.
He didn't seem that bothered about it.
But I think I would quite like to be the security for Moses. If you and I became the security for Moses Atauma, if he's,
as I always say, they do have security around, like when they have like all those heavyweight boxes.
Yeah, they have security. Seems pointless, doesn't it? It'd be like me having a radio presenter walk in front of me.
It's like the lifeguards at the Olympic swimming.
Just sitting up there. Just the whistle, round one way, round one way.
It's to stop all the heavy petting.
Exactly, isn't it? No bombing, Michael Phelps. For goodness sake. There we go. But please let us know. Reece says that was nearly as pointless as the birthday spread. If it's up there with that sort of comparison, we will absolutely take it. But
F says, trust the Villa fan to give goal to Argentina. Makes me sick.
That's Mark, the Birmingham City fan. So, yeah. Well, look, Spain they've still won the World Cup again. So nothing's changed. Those petitions are for nothing. Max and Charlie with you until 4. I'd love to take more feedback on What's the Score because I quite enjoyed it. Ben Jacobs, our senior football correspondent. Is he a senior football correspondent now?
Obviously, what he's being told, but what he is, there
Alex
he is.
Crook, the senior football correspondent.
Alex Crook is chief football reporter,
right.
I think.
What's the difference?
Is
there a pecking order?
Producer's not listening.
I don't know. No one's listening to us, are they? I don't know. I'd like to know what's the pecking order here. Anyway, many congratulations. You don't think there's a pecking order at talkSPORT?
Not sure. I was thinking earlier then.
You tried not turning up for about 1 million shows and then getting a standing ovation when he come out? You tried that? You tried that?
Good luck.
Ben Jacobs joins us in just a second.
No VIN, no fee. That's on the back page of The Sun, with also Arsenal target Vin
Vinny Jr. back in training with Madrid. You feel as though, if the Madrid deal happens, he will end up staying. But around Bruno, they've had a deal rejected for £75 million. So do you think Gabby actually, depending on how these plan out, Arsenal might have a quiet window?
Yeah, but they don't need a busy window. Just won the Premier League, and they're going to strengthen. They've lost Trossard. They brought in Zolis, who's a very good winger. If they bring in Bruno Guimaraes, I think that's enough to go again and win the Premier League anyway, even without him. But it's going to make them stronger. And I think he's a fantastic player. I don't think he should be the same fee as Tonali because of the age difference. 3 years older than Tonali. So you look at him, no sell-on value for Arsenal if they sign him. So I think 75, 80 is about right.
30 million less, okay.
Just because of the age I'm looking at.
Okay. Yeah. But they're not going to have... But how important is it that Arsenal do get in a midfield, especially at the start of the season, because they won't have Declan Rice?
Yeah, and they've sold Norgard to Everton, so you're looking at that midfield and you're saying it's a bit light now. I think it's a fantastic player. We're just talking, me and Jeff, off air. That probably says Zubamendi, maybe you're a squad player next season.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think the thing is with Bruno Guimaraes that he's reportedly said that he wants to join Arsenal. So the deal will happen. So from a Newcastle perspective, get it done. Yeah. Don't let this become Alexander Isak Mark II.
Steve from Wincham has been in touch. The reenactment World Cup final was as boring as the actual World Cup final. I didn't think you'd manage that, but you did. Well done, boys.
Thanks,
sometimes these features are great, and sometimes I quite enjoy it.
You've got to try stuff, Max.
You have to try stuff. Otherwise, we would just be doing who's the bigger club, Liverpool or Man United. Call us now. Whatever you do.
Let's do it.
No.
Okay.
I'm not doing it.
We've got that in our back pockets, though, if we ever need it.
Yeah. Why don't we do the text topic, who do you support? That's what we can just do that. Who do you support? Tell us now. Anyway, let's talk to our senior football correspondent, Ben Jacobs. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Good afternoon.
So let's start with Gianni. Figo going in on him is good, isn't it? I mean, I'm not being impartial here, Ben. I'd love to see the back of Infantino. I think he's terrible for the game, and he only cares about himself. But what's the latest? What's happening in Morocco? How do you see this playing out?
So there's crisis talks. Let's see whether Gianni Infantino bills it that way. And as you say, a meeting this afternoon in Morocco. We're waiting for the takeaways from that. Senior FIFA staff, including the General Secretary of FIFA, Matthias Grafstrom, who had said in a memo, effectively, that individuals were behind this rogue FIFA forward enterprise privatization plans. He didn't name Infantino, but again, it's more evidence that Infantino's senior staff, many of them at least, are turning against him. Add to that Kevin Lamore, COO, who wrote a really damning op-ed via the Associated Press. And then when you factor in Figo's comments today, the European leagues have come out against Infantino's plans as well. Many would say that his position is untenable. And this is Infantino now trying to unite and basically get a common ground and a perspective as FIFA, which is quite ironic because he's done so much as Gianni Infantino and on his own channels. But what he's hoping is almost to hide behind a bit of unity now and provide a way forwards as FIFA's leadership team and make it less about him. Now, whether or not those in his team align, or if they alternatively decide that they're going to double down and have a kind of mutiny, that's going to be the crux of this meeting. Because if Infantino can garner leadership support, he's still vote counting and intends to fight on. But if some of these names continue to turn against him, it might be a case of either you go or we go.
Yeah.
And if his leadership team decide to revolt off the back of this meeting, it's the beginning of the end, surely. And Infantino wants to hold this meeting to ultimately understand, does he actually have the support despite the public statements? And if he does, his intent is to battle on.
Sure. And then we have a situation where obviously some people who have spoken up against Infantino from within the game as well as outside the game, will stick to their guns. But now there are a lot of people who just go which way the wind is blowing, right? There's a domino effect, and that's the fascinating thing to see.
Yeah, I think also there's words and there's action and there's threats and there's follow-throughs, and UEFA are really keen that this isn't just about withdrawals of support or public statements that play well in the media. And Infantino probably doesn't care that Figo's against him or that Prince Ali bin Al Hussein said some of the means to try and garner votes was essentially blackmail. Firstly, because the FIFA legends don't vote, and secondly, because in the case of Prince Ali bin Al Hussein, Jordan had never given him an endorsement in the first place. So this, if you spell it out in votes, is much, much simpler. It's Infantino who wants to fight on. It's Infantino that began the World Cup with 200 plus letters of endorsement and no challenger. And it's Infantino that will still feel in South and Central America, in large parts of Asia, and in almost all of Africa, he's got the numbers versus UEFA and CONCACAF in particular. And if CONCACAF and UEFA combine and get behind Victor Montagliani, the CONCACAF president, that's potentially 95 votes, 55 from UEFA, 35 from CONCACAF, only 16 away from a majority. And Victor Montagliani, because he went into the World Cup thinking he would stand again for CONCACAF re-election next year, has got a big decision to make. Come out of the shadows and challenge Gianni Infantino, or back off and hope that Infantino walks before this election. And if he comes out, he needs to know that he's starting with that 90. Otherwise, there's a lot to lose, because he could stand, he could remove himself from the CONCACAF equation, he could lose to Infantino, and this whole project is kind of redundant. So really, all that's happening right now, despite the complexities, the politics, the public statements, is candidates like Montagliani and Infantino himself are doing the maths. And once they become confident that they've got a majority on either side, they'll make public statements. Infantino either saying he will stand again, or Montagliani rivaling Infantino, and that's where things will get really interesting.
Let's move on to some transfer stuff. So the Guimaraes deal is done, or is about to be done, I presume. I'm more interested if there's anything in Vinny Jr. to ask.
Is that pie in the
that's
sky?
got to be nonsense, Ben, hasn't it?
No, it's not nonsense. Arsenal are serious about Vinny Jr. and we've said many times on talkSPORT, this week is key, because Real Madrid are pushing Vinny Jr. for an answer. And when I say they want an answer, I mean today, tomorrow rather than a long-running saga. And I know Arsenal fans or others in football from the Premier League rival clubs might think Arsenal are the stalking horse. Arsenal are the leverage. Vinny Jr. is going to get what he wants from Real Madrid, end of saga. And absolutely, he could renew. And if that outcome is to happen, it's a today, tomorrow, this week kind of saga. But if it goes to, say, Friday, or even early next week at the latest, and we're still back and forth between Vinny Jr. and Real Madrid, even though Jose wants to keep the player, Florentino Perez is going to say, line drawn, you're for sale. Because even though technically there's the option of him staying and them continuing these renewal talks when the window shuts, Perez will not allow that because he doesn't want to let the player leave on a free. And Yan Diomande is going to arrive. He can play on the left. Kylian Mbappe, arguably his best position is as left attacker, left winger, rather than leading the line in a more central position. So Real are prepared to sell, and they're the ones, not the Vinny camp, using Arsenal as leverage and saying, we're going to have this offer from the Gunners. So you renew now, or we're prepared to sell. And Arsenal are not just sitting on their laurels and waiting for this to play out. They've made their offer. Yeah. They've pitched their terms to the player. They're higher than Real are prepared to pay. So Arsenal have done everything in their power on the player side to be proactive. And now Real are countering and hoping that the player's heart is with Real Madrid and he'll concede and sign for less than Arsenal are offering. If he gives the answer and it's no renewal, then it's game on for Arsenal to start club-to-club talks with suddenly, in that scenario, a Real club, at least Florentino Perez, that would be prepared to sell.
It's what Sir Alex Ferguson used to say, when you're in a position of strengthen. That's when he's said to do that. So maybe that's what Arsenal are trying to do. Pedro Neto to Man City. Is this more or less done, or is this happening, Ben?
It's not more or less done. Chelsea haven't put a valuation on Pedro Neto, but he's not untouchable. And what we're going to see first is Savinho. And as that potential transfer between Spurs and Man City goes up to board level, is Ferran Soriano in particular going to block it like he did last summer or sanction it? And the feeling is now City will sell if they find a replacement. And here's where Pedro Neto creeps into the narrative, even though at Chelsea he's been playing over on that right-hand side. But you may get a scenario where, because he can oscillate between right and left, and Enzo Maresca knows him, and Enzo Maresca ultimately likes a winger that's not that defined, either as a winger, because he wants forward output from them. So there's a kind of fluidity between the profile Enzo Maresca likes, between winger and forward, and that extends to switching sides. So Pedro Neto is a perfect Enzo Maresca kind of profile. He loved him during his time at Stamford Bridge, and absolutely this one could develop. But first, the City board have to give the green light to sell Savinho to Spurs, because the feeling last summer was this might be a player like Cole Palmer that they sell and immediately regret it. Now, because the player only scored one Premier League goal and played 23 times last season, maybe City's stance at board level is a bit more softened. And if they can get a replacement, and it could be Pedro Neto, then suddenly it's game on for Tottenham to complete the Savinho deal.
And is that the bomber signing that De Zerbi's been going on about, or is that someone else?
I mean, Tottenham seems to be dropping bomber signings all summer, and Savinho would kind of fall into that category in terms of his potential. But my expectation is another attacker arrives as well. And Tottenham, like Cody Gakpo, Liverpool don't want to sell Cody Gakpo. But if they add one or potentially two attack-minded players, maybe a winger and a more central player, or a right-sided attacker and another left-sided one, then suddenly the Gakpo situation could change. So Liverpool's stance is they prefer to keep Gakpo. But again, he's not unsellable at the right price. We're just dealing in an inflated market. So that right price would be a sale at a real premium to Liverpool. And if the player pushes to move and Liverpool get what they need in the market, it's not impossible, as August goes on, that Tottenham makes some headway as far as Cody Gakpo is concerned. But now's not the timing. If you go to Liverpool today for Cody Gakpo as Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, it's a bit of a fool's errand, because first they need to make progress on Bradley Barcola. Ibrahim Mbaye is another possibility. And if Liverpool add first, suddenly it might unlock the Gakpo situation. But today, player not for sale, but I'm not so sure that that stance will remain consistent throughout the month of August, providing Liverpool get what they need in the market.
Thanks for coming on, Ben. Appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot.
Our senior football correspondent, Ben Jacobs there. The Gakpo situation. There are so many not very good films on there that come out of the transfer window. I got bored after an hour of the Gakpo situation. It just wasn't going anywhere, was it?
Like one of those Michael Caine films.
You think
they're not one of the famous ones?
Right, I see. It's the Gakpo situation. If you could do a review of the 3 hours, longer than the Odyssey, which
you've seen. You've seen the Odyssey.
Pretty boring.
Was it?
Pretty boring. Didn't care about any of the characters. Really, when they finished the war in Troy and Agamemnon said, I'm going home, Odysseus should have said, we'll come with you. And then he wouldn't have gone the wrong way. That saved you all a lot of time.
Wow,
there we are.
We were paid to save.
I bet Mark Kermode is absolutely bricks after that.
Didn't enjoy it.
Oh no, we were. We had to plug
the Odyssey a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
Now,
yeah.
Now
the truth comes out.
Telling people not to see it.
Well, live your life. Do what you like.
Exactly. Your own choices.
The EFL launch event is at the National Football Museum, and Rhian Brewster, Derby County forward, will join us from there, and we'll find out what exhibits he's seen at the museum in just a second.
Do you think he'll regret the way he went about last year?
Well, he should, in my opinion. I'm his biggest fan, right? Someone who scores 40 goals a season from right wing, not centre forward. People know him inside out. He can beat you both sides, so you can't stop him. To do that 8 years on the bounce, then he starts the season off, and he had 3 goes. In my opinion, he threw his toys out the pram and said, the club have thrown me under the bus. That was the first one. We're all going like, what do you mean by that? Club has thrown you under the bus.
Just had an unbelievable bumper contract.
He's got a 2-year contract, 500 grand a week. And then, again, he got left out again, and he had another go. And then just as he was on his way out the door, and he hadn't got the manager of the sack, he had another go saying we should be playing Jurgen. Basically, we should be playing Jurgen Klopp football and go back to it because we've gone right off the boil. And all the directors must have read it and gone, right, we've obviously got the wrong manager. So I don't think he should have done any of that, but he done it, and now he's gone. So I think probably on reflection he would have thought, I've tarnished he's like a superstar at Liverpool. He's up there with Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush as a legend. But that leaving like that, I don't think he should have done that because it was petulance. It was like as if, you can't leave me out, I'm Mo Salah. Well, he did.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
This is the championship. This is talkSPORT, where every game matters. The crossing from Elder, looking for Brewster. Excellent volley from Ryan Brewster, and a fine goal for Derby County.
Brewster is starting forward for Derby, into the area. Brewster, 2-1.
Well, this is why we love the EFL.
Yeah, nice. I'd like to have a montage of me scoring. It doesn't exist, unfortunately. But it did for our next guest, Ryan Brewster, Derby centre forward, joins us now. How are you, Ryan?
Hello, Ryan.
Hi, guys. You okay?
Yeah,
thank
good.
you. Yeah.
You're at the National Football Museum. Have you been to see all the exhibits, Ryan, or have they just chucked you in a chair and said, talk to these idiots?
Nah, definitely just chucked me in there. I don't know about the idiot part, but they definitely just chucked me in there.
It's a good museum.
I'll go look at it after.
Yeah, it's a good museum. There's some good bits and pieces in there.
Is it?
Right.
Yeah, it's very
good football history in there.
It's really good. Really worth the trip. If you're in Manchester, you got the kids.
Okay.
You can go and see all the stuff. It's really good stuff.
How's fitness, Ryan? I know you had some knee surgery in April, didn't you? So are you back fit and raring to go for the start of the season?
Yeah, so I've been back training and stuff like that, and got some minutes yesterday, and hopefully push on and be ready for this Saturday.
Yeah. So did that mean your summer was different? You couldn't go? Could you go away and have a nice holiday, or did you have to stay in the gym rehabbing and all that stuff?
A bit of both, to be fair. I got away when I couldn't really do much.
Yeah.
Just after the operation. And then when I could do stuff, I was back and rehabbing all summer.
Yeah.
All summer while everyone was away.
So you got
it was very, very lonely.
So you got some minutes yesterday. What's that like when you're coming back from an injury? Are you trying to put a bit of pressure on it? Are you trying to stay off it? How does it work? Because you obviously don't want to go backwards.
Yeah, no, of course. I feel like you do all the stuff that you do in the gym and all the running outside before you do return with the team, and trusting yourself, trusting obviously it was my knee, so trusting my knee again, and ultimately you just go into the game and training, knowing you did everything that you can, and just when you go straight into the game, you just don't, to be honest, you don't really think about it. You just try to play the game, and obviously I haven't played in a while, so fitness is not really there yet, as in running and stuff like that. But the more games you play, the fitter you will get. But yeah, it was good to be back out there. You know, I was excited the night before, thinking, yeah, this has been a long 3-4 months, but you know, on the other side of it now, and yeah, hopefully I can kick on now and know more.
Tell me it's the same for you as it is for a 47-year-old still trying to play amateur football. You think you're in decent nick, and then the first sprint you do, you are absolutely blowing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I thought I was, you know, fit, and then I did, I think, 2 runs, and I thought, oh my God, yeah, I definitely need to play some more. Definitely. But no, it was good. I played about 20 minutes yesterday, so it was good to just be back out there, you know.
Do they still do that bit when your squad all come back for the first day of pre-season? Do you all still get weighed? Are you all weighed in front of each other to check who's put on some timber, or is it a bit different now because everyone's so professional?
Oh, definitely. No, you still get weighed by the nutritionist and see how much meals you've put on and body fat and stuff like that. And you know, you got it's at the end of the season, you know, they give you targets, and obviously if you don't hit them targets and you're back, you're in trouble with a gaffer.
And did you hit your targets, Rian?
We won't talk about that.
Okay.
You're at the launch of
I think mine was a bit different because you know, I was injured and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
Yeah, I wasn't as good as I should have been, which is not good. But you know, I'm in a good place now and ready to kick on for the season.
Can you name and shame in your squad who came back?
No grassing up,
like the Michelin man.
Not outside the dressing room.
Go on, Rian.
Just me.
Okay.
We'll say just me.
Well,
okay.
What a team man.
You're a team player.
Team man. It's the EFL launch event you're at the National Football Museum today. Some big teams in the Championship. How are Derby going to get on this season?
Hopefully really well. You know, we finished just outside the playoffs last season, and ultimately we want to have a better season than we did last season. So that's the aim for us this season, and you know, we're going to do as much as we can to do that.
What's it like if you're at a club and you're watching your club's transfer activity? Are you like, you really want to see great signings in every position but your own? Is that the way you look at it?
Yeah, of course. You know, you want signings to come in. To be honest, I think as players and as we're in the environment, you know, we train every day. We you know, we focus on what we need to focus. We can't control things like stuff like that, like people coming in and stuff like that. So ultimately, we all want to play. We want to do well as a team, and we just focus on what we can focus, and that's, you know, training hard every day. And obviously preparing ourselves for the games, and whoever the gaffer picks on the Saturday, you know, going to go out there and play 110% and hopefully get the 3 points that we know we need for the season. And yeah, I feel like that's what we can, like I said, we control what we can control, and those are the things we can't control, so we just focus on ourselves as a team.
You got Lincoln City at home in the EFL Cup. It's weird to have that on a Saturday, isn't it, before the season starts?
Yeah.
The Carabao Cup. Are you going to start? Are you starting that one, Rian? Do you know?
Probably not. Not too sure. So it depends on the gaffer.
He can only do 2 runs. He just said he only got 2 runs in him at the moment.
He's got 2 shuttle runs.
Yeah, no, it's you know, it's a weird first game because obviously it's a cup game, and you know, normally it's the league, then the cup game and stuff like that. So it's very interesting, but you know, it's a game that we 100% want to win. You know, start the season well, and obviously that's the beginning of the season. You know, some people would say it's the league game, but it's not. You know, it's the cup game. The quicker you can start winning, the better it will be. And you know, if we can, hopefully we get that win on Saturday, and it kicks us off into the start of the season with Charlton away the next week.
Listen, well, thanks so much for coming on, Rian. Enjoy the museum, and we appreciate your time. Good luck for this season.
No, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for
good
having
man.
me.
Rian Brewster there, Derby County striker.
Paul from Burnley's been in touch.
Hi, Paul.
He says, I support Burnley. We asked who do you support?
We did, yeah.
And then he said, this is what, and then we didn't read it out. And he says, this is why you'll never get clapped out of the studio. If you do a feature, read out the text.
Yeah.
So there we are. So
He
I
says,
read out
guys,
Paul's.
seriously, I support Burnley. Paul from Burnley. We did get quite a lot of texts about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
This text just says Oxford United. Michael in Sunderland says, I support South Shields FC.
There we are.
Don't keep those
went
coming.
well.
Middlesbrough Wrexham Carabao Cup first round, 8 o'clock on Friday. In 2 days' time. Then on Saturday, Game Day Live. Adrian, Mickey, and Ben. Why can't they bend me? I said just Ben me. There we are. Ben me's
good
good
to think
signing.
about that for Saturday, Max.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it?
Earlier on.
Yeah. Can we get Ben on our show? West Ham Portsmouth at 3.
Neil Warnock's favourite player, of course, Ben Mee. I'm Ben Mee.
Oh yeah. Colchester Southampton 5:30 Sunday. Mansfield Sheffield United at 4 o'clock. Got the Super Cup as well. PSG Aston Villa Wolves Blackburn on Friday. The Championship returns then Friday week. Adrian's going to host that one as well. Football is back.
It is.
God, we missed it because there's not enough of it. But it is funny in that bit where there isn't any. You're like,
yeah.
I moan all season about how much football there is, and then when there isn't football, I moan there isn't football, and when the season starts again,
what am I supposed to watch?
Exactly. Mrs. Rushden wants to watch something about jury duty.
Right.
I tell you, I can't remember what the show is, so I'll give you a more detailed.
What did I watch today? Android. It's very
Android.
Good. Very, very funny on.
Okay. Was that like Metal Mickey sort of?
Sue Johnston.
Okay.
She's very funny.
She's great. Yeah.
And it's very good.
All right.
That's all. That's my review. Very
so much. Once again, I refer you
We've
back
covered
to
films,
films and television.
We're
not going to
Radio 4 on the phone.
I think that Melvin Bragg is going, oh no, we're done for. I watched the show. It was very good. Yeah, Osman and Hyde, absolutely. They're scared.
Well, it's not what we're supposed to be doing. We could go into more detail, but Mark, the Wolves fan. I support Man United. Thank you, Mark.
What are we doing next? We're going to Turkey because I need
those teeth.
I need rethatching, and Charlie wants a height augmentation. And no, we're going to talk about Mo Salah going to where's he gone? Trabzonspor, isn't he?
Trabzonspor.
Been gazumped. Besiktas were gazumped, I believe, and so we'll find out all about it in just a second.
I speak to people here and there, good sources.
Mm-hmm.
The best thing I can say is that I know for a fact we're not going to rush. The window doesn't close until the beginning of September, end of August, beginning of September. We've got a lot of time to make decisions. And on top of that, we're not like other teams who desperately have to strengthen and anyone's better than their current team. If somebody comes into our team, they have to be the right personnel, the right players on the pitch, and they have to fit the vision of Arsenal Football Club. We haven't spent 7-8 years building this squad for anyone to come in and for it to be some kind of joke. So the likes of Bruno, great attitude. He can play, Mikel likes him versatile. He can play as a 6, he can play as an 8. He can play as a 10 if you really want him to as well.
His creativity is very underrated, Joel.
Exactly. And we all know what it gets like. When you're Arsenal Football Club, you're in every single competition, guys. Just to remind everybody, we only, didn't play 2 games out of the possible. All of the games that you could have played last season, we only didn't play 2 games. What games were they? Do you know?
It would be the League Cup final. Oh no, you played that.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Don't worry, Ollie. I'll correct.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
Semi-final of the FA Cup.
And
the final of the FA Cup.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So that means that even if you've got 2 10s, Eze and Odegaard and how great they are, sometimes you need more players.
So Mo Salah got a hero's welcome outside Ataturk Airport in Istanbul today as he emerged wearing Trabzonspor colours. Chatting to the crowd, let's talk to Çetin Sem Yilmaz, Turkish football journalist. Çetin, how are you? Thanks for coming on.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, really good. Give us an idea of what the reaction's been and how big a deal this is for Trabzonspor and the Turkish league.
Sure, that's massive. It's one of the biggest signings ever in Turkish football. And mind you, Turkish football has seen some great talent over the years, but this is definitely up there with the best. And the fact that Salah is not going to the Istanbul Big Three, Fenerbahce, Beşiktaş, or Galatasaray, but Trabzonspor, who is like the fourth member of the Big Four, but not within the Istanbul Tripoli, if you will. So this is like a huge coup for Trabzonspor, and you can see the fans are like buzzing on social media and on the airport to welcome him.
And because it looked like he was going to Beşiktaş, is that right? So how have they done this deal, Trabzonspor?
There was this buzz of Beşiktaş getting interested in Salah when they actually unveiled Leandro Trossard like 2 weeks ago. So Beşiktaş really went for it, but at one point Beşiktaş didn't have the financial means to sign Salah to get this deal over the line. So at that point last week, Beşiktaş general director announced that this is not within our financial reality, so we have to pull back. They also kind of criticized Salah's agent for like adding new demands while they were like getting close to a deal. So when they pull out, I think Trabzonspor like saw an opportunity and just went for it. And mind you, Trabzonspor have been making very big sales in the past 12 months. So they are in a better spot financially. They have been operating with a Moneyball kind of situation there, finding young talents and selling them for huge profits. They sold Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire's Ulay and Felipe Augusto. They are signed for like 15 million and they were both sold for over 40 million. So they have this profit and they decided to splash it, go all in for Salah.
Sure, and that's not Moneyball at all, is it? No. Salah's like the anti-Moneyball signing.
The other side, yeah.
Definitely. So I think at that point when this is like within the Turkish football realities, when there's a star, I think all the financial plans, all the Moneyball ideas go out of the window. So I can criticize Salah being this liability financially, but when it's a huge name like this, you see the headlines, you see thousands of people pouring to the airport, you can see how big of a deal it is. So I'm sure that it will fill the stadiums all across the country, not for Trabzonspor. So, yeah, I think it also makes sense from that perspective as well.
So for Liverpool, we're used to seeing him, running down the wing, cutting in, beating a player, either putting a shot in or getting to the line and crossing it. Is that how we're going to see him play for Trabzonspor? How do they play?
I think it will be similar. Trabzonspor also have Onuachu. He's a strong, powerful forward up front. He was really good for Trabzonspor last year. So I can see him being like this guy that facilitates Salah's runs, and he can also do the hard work pressing. So obviously Salah doesn't have the legs he had like 5-6 years ago, apparently. So Trabzonspor will know that Salah is at that point a luxury player. They have to be they have to carry Salah at times, but they have a young squad and they also have a young group of attackers. I think they will do the hard work for Salah to thrive, and at least that will be the plan.
Yeah, Onuachu has enormous guy. Played for Southampton. He's like 25 feet tall.
right,
Yeah,
okay.
that'll be
Big
fun.
man, little man.
And is there Chetin, like because obviously we know about the rivalries in the Turkish league and how competitive it is, and do like all fans go, this is great for the league that they have Mo Salah, or are your Galatasaray fans and your Besiktas fans just furious that Salah's gone to somewhere else? Because in the Premier League it doesn't really go, if Vinny Jr. goes to Arsenal, there aren't going to be Liverpool fans going, this is great for the Premier League. They're just going to be annoyed that he's gone to Arsenal. How do the rest of the league and the rest of the fans view this signing?
I mean, it's a bit of both. You can see some fans are like a bit, I don't know if that's the right word, but envy. Especially with Besiktas fans, they're kind of like bitter that their club didn't get this deal over the line. Some people are like, okay, thinking rationally, it wouldn't fit within our financial realities. It wasn't our deal to go with. But there's like also a big section of Besiktas fans that are like really furious with their board right now because you couldn't do this. Now our rivals, Trabzonspor, are enjoying Salah. So there's that section. For like Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, we're really not realistically in the Salah race. So I think there is also this element of this is great for the league, but there's also this element of this conversation. Is Salah the greatest player ever to play in the Super League? So Galatasaray fans and Fenerbahce fans have their own starts from their history. Our signing of Roberto Carlos or Didier Drogba was better. So a bit better, sorry. So there's this, rivalry already started on social.
Good stuff.
Listen, thanks so much for coming on, Chetin. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Of course.
Chetin Yilmaz there, Turkish football journalist. And that's us done.
Very nice.
I had a lovely time.
I had a lovely time.
I think you were amazing.
Well,
yeah.
We were
both amazing.
Team effort. I think we were both amazing.
It was maybe the greatest we asked.
Our producer Sean was amazing.
Yeah. Everyone
Pitch
behind
on the
glass.
buttons, amazing.
The whole
Lucy
team
was incredible.
You're all good people. Well done.
All amazing. Everyone
thumbs
else.
Thumbs up.
Anyone else who I've not mentioned was not amazing.
No,
so
you were awful. Never come back. Adeola Depot and Ashley Williams, great, are up here next with Drive. Carl Walker's going to join them as one of their guests. And Charlie, you're back with Paul tomorrow.
Back with Paul and the spread tomorrow.
One minute I'm doing this, I finish at 10:15. There's a car outside. I'm like, what's going on? Straight down to Addenbrooke's, Cambridge.
Okay.
And a few hours later, wallop, they open me up and stick a new liver in there. So I did have cancer on my liver.
Did you?
And we suspected that for months, to be honest. But they didn't want to go in and touch it and shake it up in case you could make it spread, But anyway, they decided that, first of all, they said the perfect match came in, or else I might still be waiting.
Yes.
And people who know what I'm talking about, who are on the list, you can wait 18 months. You can go down there, get ready to have the op, and they say it's not quite right. Go away, come back. We'll phone you later, maybe in a few weeks, and it can be murder. It can be terrible. But I was so lucky. I went down there and they said we've got one, and it looks perfect. So we're going to do it now. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? So so they eject you all over, and you think you have to sign a few forms.
Of course, of course.
And you get carried in there, and it's like, goodbye, everyone.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah. Just it's a massive
Wife's
operation.
in tears, and it's horrible.
But you knew though, didn't you, Al? Before that, you knew. When you were on air here and you felt dizzy and you had to come off. You knew something was.
Well, that was the stage where I had to